battle for Middle Earth is about to begin.
So it begins.
Send these foul beasts into the abyss! It's my power. The great battle of our time.
Welcome to the Zorpazorp Battle Games in Middle Earth Livestream. In this series, we cast our gaze back in time to the roots of our beloved Middle Earth strategy battle game to explore the fortnightly magazine serial Battle Games in Middle Earth. Each episode, we will delve into a single issue, poring over a treasure trove of retro gaming, following in-depth painting guides, terrain tutorials, and some crazy battle reports, all with a modern twist so you guys can enjoy them in your games at home. With each installment, we'll also focus on a release of models that accompanied the magazine, following their journey from painting bench to tabletop, and then at the end of every live stream, they'll be randomly assigned to one of our loyal Patreons to continue their days of gaming abroad, spreading the gospel of Zorpazorp. So, in the immortal words of the magazine itself, let battle commence. Hello, welcome to the Battle Games in Middle Earth live stream, a mental Rohan edition. Now, we are doing some crazy new stuff this evening, so let me know what you guys can hear, because it is all aboard the new gear and new streaming express this evening. We've got a special guest as well, Mr. Alex, who is setting up his audio at the moment. Alex, can you... Okay, I definitely do not have your audio yet. Solid. Literally like 4 seconds ago. 4 seconds ago, I was talking to him, and just as I switched to this scene, his audio has dropped out. So we'll let Alex wrangle that, but that's fine, because, you know, you guys can just have me for a while. Alex is super white and washed out on my screen, says D-Slide. Oh, that might be his webcam. Alex is going rogue tonight with the gear. You guys can hear me. Can you hear the music as well? That should be pumping in the background. Is it too loud? We're going to be doing some epic Rohan action, as the silliness title implies. We're just continuing with, basically, this is, the subtitle of this video is Lockie monetizing the painting of his personal army so they can actually paint some of his own models instead of just stuff for the channel. So yay. We're going to be continuing with my beautiful Royal Guard. I have done some work since our last stream a week ago. Look at this, guys. 2 streams in a week. Absolutely smashing it. We're setting records. And we have got a beautiful little couple of extra things that have been done. I got some stuff. I've been working late at night, I did all the boring magnetization, right? I got that stuff out of the way so that you guys could enjoy the primo painting. So we're going to be diving into that, as well as just having a chat with Alex and getting Alex right on paper as a last resort, says Chris from Swords and Brushes. Yeah, Alex, you'll now just be holding up cards every day. He's pretty much just a viewer now. He's just in the chat. He can type in the live chat, but we get to see his face as well. Oh, this is smooth. This is what you come for here. In the old school, Chris says, but can Alex even write? They're firing them away at you. He's getting murdered in the chat. Oh, these two guys could be worse, I guess. It says, hi all on the paper. Alright, what we might do is I will quickly switch back to my holding screen to make sure I haven't muted him, and I'll be back in just 20 seconds. Give me a sec, guys. Oh, where's my actual mouse? There it is over there. Alright, uno momento, por favor. We'll see you guys in just a sec.
Hello? Hello?
All right, ladies and gents in the chat, welcome back. We shall be joined soon by Alex. Let me know once again once we've got through that little technical difficulty. I think you guys should be reading me nice and clearly. There we go. Alex is joining. Let's see if we get Mr. Temple this time. You sound fantastic to me. What about the chat, ladies and gentlemen? Let's turn you on for the chat. How does this sound? All right. Are you sounding good? Say hello, Alex.
Hello, everyone. Am I clear? Hello. Well, I've got a hello back, so that's an excellent start.
Yes, that looks like.
No, but obviously they could just be saying.
Excellent. They can hear you. They can hear us. All right.
Now,
So,
the question, do we want them to know what the technical issue was? Because I feel like we do.
So, okay, what happens is Alex and I have been here for half an hour. We've been rigorously testing this new streaming format. I've built all these layered scenes in OBS, which is not my normal streaming program. We've got Google Meets happening. We tested different voice contact sources and formats and software, and then everything's good to go. We click live, and I sit down in my chair, and suddenly Alex disappears. You guys can't hear him. I can't hear him. You guys couldn't hear him because I hadn't turned his mic on yet inside OBS, which was fine. That was meant to be off until we started. But I couldn't hear him because as I sat down, I leant on the volume wheel on the side of my headphones and turned off my sound. So
and we were trying different platforms,
Oh my
and I was
God.
saying, well, I'm getting sound readings this side, and you very sagely said, oh well, I think it's got to be something on your end.
It's definitely on your end, man. I'm getting no readings here, but that was because he was muted. Okay,
Good.
let's move on. I mean, I honestly think that's pretty much the perfect stream to pretty much what tonight is going to be about. There's no proper theme. We're abandoning the normal stream format, and Lockie is just hanging out and painting his personal army, and Alex is painting his personal army, and yes, the volume slider, the first enemy, says Michael from Buckendo. Oh dear. Sorry about that, guys. 46 minutes, 16 minutes into the stream. Solid time wasted. So, what are you painting today? Oh, first of all, I guess some people might not know who Alex is, which I find incredibly hard to believe, because
the overwhelming majority of people won't know who I am.
I regularly spruik Alex from Battle Camper as the greatest YouTube channel on the platform, and I say this with all sincerity.
Really nice.
I am like
Yeah,
I'm your perfect target market, though, right?
Yes. I'm from Battle Camper, a much smaller channel, but a channel in which I try and combine painting and hobbying with travel. We do a lot of traveling around in the back of a micro camper van and do sort of hobby projects. Also go to tournaments and do tournament reports. And the way we met was I uploaded my first report, and when I got to 20 views, I was like, "This is brilliant! I've got views in the double digits.
I don't know how
on my way
how
to
did I,
YouTube stardom."
How did I find you?
I
Did you post
I
on
have no idea.
GHL, or was it the power of the algorithm?
I didn't. I posted on the Middle Earth Miniatures Rocks group.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of got the odd comment from really nice people saying, "Oh, this is cool." And then I just got this notification on my phone. And I think I was at work at the time. And it was like, "Zorpazorp has commented on your video." And I just had an absolute meltdown. I was like, "Oh, this is like the best thing."
I'm pretty sure I actually just found you on recommended, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And it was.
all hail the algorithm.
Yeah, I'm at war with the algorithm at the moment, but we'll give it that one. Good job.
I appreciate it. I mean, PTK just says, "How's the portable toilet?" And it's interesting. I was actually thinking about this the other day. It's always the first question I get. I feel like there's potentially 3 characters in the sort of Battle Camper canon.
Yeah.
The first is probably you. The second is the portable toilet.
Yeah.
An honourable mention in third place would be the dinosaur doorstop, and then the 4th place is me. The first thing people always ask for is an update on the portable toilet. It's only been in one.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
In one video, but I suppose it contains as much shit as I do. So
yeah, that's good. I like that. Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, so basically, the reason I like Alex's channel so much is because his channel is basically what I actually want to do on Zorpazorp, which is drive around New Zealand, filming stuff, but obviously having the benefit of the actual filming locations, which has always been like the long-term plan. We've done 1 episode so far when I flew over to Wellington, in like 2019. Was that was before your channel launched, or was that after your channel launched? When did you launch? I can't remember.
2020, I think it was.
Boom! There you go. I've got evidence. I can prove
I
I'm
know,
not. I'm not stealing your intellectual property. I've already copyrighted the format. We're fine. No pending lawsuits. No Battle Camper v Zorpazorp law arc. That'd be a great video series.
That would be excellent. I'm not above some kind of like vexatious litigation, to be fair.
Yeah. Let's just sue each other for the views. So yes, we're it's the dream format for me, and you get the benefit of driving around all the locations that inspired Tolkien to write the books, and I get the benefit of driving all the locations that inspired Jackson to make the film. So really, it's the perfect partnership. You know what would be a great idea if we did something together, Alex? Wouldn't that be incredible?
That would be very, very fortuitous, I think.
Imagine if we had already planned like this whole massive sequence of content that happened. I mean, how good would that be? Obviously, if we had, we wouldn't be able to talk about it yet because it needs to stay under wraps. But imagine if there were like, if the viewers thought the Horus Heresy campaign was big, and then I said, well, this thing's even bigger. Imagine how they would feel.
It would cause riots in the streets. Which is probably why it's a good thing that we haven't done that.
Yeah. So we shouldn't say that because obviously that might get them a little hot under the collar. But
of course.
But yeah, it's gonna be mad. But we can't tell them anything yet. I guess we should probably like actually talk to the chat. This is the danger of another person being here. I'm gonna forget you guys in the chat. Oh my god, there's like 50,000 messages.
I'll just pick out. Sorry.
No, you go. Say hello to some people.
I was only going to say I'm going to pick out that JMac has pointed out that
that was the comment I was about.
When it comes to Scotland v New Zealand, obviously I appreciate and I think he has no vested interest in Scotland winning. And
no, not at all. No,
he's
definitely not a native Scotch, to use the Stuart Lee phrase. This stream is just getting niche by the minute. No one in the chat's going to get Stuart Lee references. Don't know what that says about my audience. They won't get that joke either, but it's good. Right, lads, grab your torches and head downtown. Let's get this riot going, says El Cid. It's going to be good. Frederick says, does Ollie know you're cheating with him, tagging at me? Ollie was actually supposed to be here tonight as well. We're going to have a nice little threesome. But Ollie and Kira are currently doing their 12-hour-long anniversary stream of the launch of Kira's Twitch. And I was like, you know what? We were gonna like join them and all stream together, the 4 of us, and it was just like navigate. I mean, we're barely able to manage my chat, let alone managing their chat as well. So what we might do is after Alex and I have streamed here for a couple of hours, if I'm not completely wasted, is I'll leap over and join them on Twitch, and you guys can join us there as well. We'll see how we're going. How's the sexy Rohan army going? It's going well. I have done some work. Since we were last here, I have completely finished remounting and remagnetizing all of the riders and the Royal Guard, so that is all done. And I've also done a bunch of repairs. You guys, there was a lot of stuff broken from travel back and forth from New Zealand, which I just never fixed. That's all fixed. So now we are ready to paint, which is going to be good. So we're going to be clocking off my Royal Guard, and we'll see if we can get a bunch of them like completely finished, as well as the heroes. We're going to be doing some great. Yeah. Michael says, is the stream bingo ready? So what is our stream bingo? It's Larissa interrupting Lockie eating a banana, and Lockie doing an Agrax Earthshade was another one. And what was the third one? Oh, the fourth one. Luckily, I think for those who are playing SBG stream bingo. Oh, the hand going out of focus. Thank you so much, Mr. Harry Bates. We've got an important one there. Now, of those, which is going to be possible, the hand going out of focus, definitely possible. I would say supremely likely. But me going for an Agrax Earthshade, also highly likely, with the size of my bladder. But the other two are nigh impossible, because it's nighttime here in Australia for once. So Larissa is asleep, wrangling two children who do not want to go to sleep. So the likelihood of me getting a banana or Larissa interrupting us is rather low, unless something drastic happens, in which case the stream may end. So hopefully you don't get the full bingo tonight. The kid's trying to break in. Oh, the kid's trying to break in, Bryce, he says. That was another one. Again, shouldn't be happening because they're asleep. What's Alex's channel called? Asking for a friend, says David. Alex's channel is called Battle Camper, and if I was organized, I would have had a link already in my video description, which I did intend to do. I fully intended to do that.
Let me link to it. I'm also, I'm not going to let you forget it, because I planned a few ways to try and squeeze in the sentence. Sorry, I got distracted by the screen. I thought you dropped out. Your audio dropped out.
No, I'm just very still.
Yeah, I'm way behind.
God, what is he going to say?
I'm going to try and squeeze in the sentence "subscribe to Battle Camper," but I might break it up over different sentences. So, for example, if we were talking about ourselves personally, I might say that I'm a sub. And also, sometimes to help me write, I need a scribe.
I see.
And I was once bitten by a bat.
Yeah.
Well, what else? But I can't tell you
how that would
to being bitten by a. I can't tell you how that would compare. Sorry, being bitten by a snake, because I've not been bitten by a snake.
How do you get the and then you would have to go
Yeah. No, compare.
Oh, compare.
It's comparing, but
the French word
like,
for camper, for compare is of course compare. As we all know. So it's just subliminal messaging. You missed the two. Yeah. You'd have to get
That's the easiest one. I did miss it.
Yeah, that was the easiest. New hobby bingo, turning off the sound again. I like it, Chris. That's a good one. Alex on the channel, awesome stuff, says James. We've got watching this from a stairmaster in the gym in Sweden, says Kalstrom. And then he also says, if I take one more step, this will be the furthest from home I've ever been. Have any of you guys... This is way off tangent now. I don't know, some of you guys in the chat might have seen it. I don't know about you, Alex, but you remember about a year ago...
I know what you're going to say.
Someone made an edit where every single time Sam takes a step in the Fellowship of the Ring, he said that whole scene of Sam saying, if I take one more step, it'll be the furthest step from home I've ever been. Literally every step up. Ridiculous.
I think it's like 19 hours long or something.
No, I think it's 9.5, yeah.
Is it 9.5?
It's long. They did it for Two Towers, Return of the King as well. Right, yes, J-Max Armies of Middle Earth, Mr. Johnny himself, has reminded us of a very important moment in this stream. I have something to open. We haven't even started painting yet. This is what happens on my streams. I don't do any painting. I just rattle on. Hang on. Let me get it sort of out of the box so I don't accidentally dox myself. Uno momento, por favor. Okay.
While he's doing that, I'll just say that Orcs
we need a blade.
Is also excellent.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
That's not from Lord of the Rings.
No. Well, a non-Lord of the Rings reference. We have a pass. Oh, I nearly doxed myself. Whole address. Oh, it actually went to my post box. What am I talking about? Everybody knows my post box. It's in the video descriptions. So this has been sent to me by J-Max Armies Middle Earth. As well, in tangent with Windrush Wargamers and Paints on a 4-Up, as a little whoa, Jesus, a little ooh, I'm bursting out white foamy things here. I have nowhere convenient to put these, so this is happening. They're all just being poured out onto the floor. They're a deal with later problem. Okay, here we go. Don't cut the headphone cables. No, then I won't be able to hear you. So this is these guys have done an amazing series of Gondor fiefdoms troops to contribute to the White City. They've done God, there were so many. Well, there was two Horondor sort of fiefdoms, and then we had 2 of the sort of southern fiefs of Gondor. I think off the top of my head, it was. I haven't actually received the models yet. I think you guys, Johnny, did you do Lebanon? I think you did Lebanon, and then Cam from Paints on a 4-Up with the amazing Dale conversions. He did, I can't believe I can't remember the name, but I should know my southern fiefdoms. The other Vale that is quite rangery. We'll see. He'll let me know anyway. Let's see. This isn't... Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did Pinneth Gellin. He was going to do Lebanon and then did Pinneth Gellin. Let's see what we've got. Oh, it's a silver tube. It's like pass the parcel, man. Oh, I'm just covered in foam packing. It's just all over my floor. I'm going to guess that it is something that the Scottish quite enjoy. Oh, I see whiskey, I think. Ooh. Oh, there was a note. Well, there's a note to read. We haven't opened gifts or presents or parcels on the stream in ages. All right. Thank you for your order, the whiskey company. Okay, that's not the personalized note. That's the generic company marketing. Oh, here it is. Here it is. My God, this is like Fort Knox to get into here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, wow, they wrote it out in all pretty script and everything, too. It says, a big thank you. Enjoy a dram or 10 of one of my all-time faves, my man J-Mac. Let's see what we're cracking open tonight on the stream. I hope that this... yes, okay, good. I was like, is this part of the packaging? Am I damaging it? Ooh, nice. Aaron. Single malt Scotch whiskey. Now, it's not chilled, so we'll be having this on ice. Look at this beast. Look at this. Truly a beverage of Middle Earth. So that's what we'll be cracking open. Thank you so much, Johnny. I'll get some ice and a glass for that in a sec, and we could dive in. But I think it's about time we started doing some painting. Oh, that is going to be our stream companion for many streams to come, I think. He's judging me for having it on the rocks. No, I'm not an animal. I can't drink it straight. Drinking games on the stream. All right, so what are you painting tonight, Alex?
So tonight, first I should say, I've never sent you anything, and I'm not sure. Is that the custom now? Do I owe you like 5 presents for all the videos you've been involved with?
Yeah, that's right. I've been literally sitting by my mailbox every day to see if the thank you for basking in my presents gift. Presents? There's a nice little pun.
Excellent.
And they just haven't arrived. So to punish
you,
they're
en route.
To punish you, I've decided to involve you in a 21-day long collaboration next year.
Dude, you were meant to.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. This is it's not that I actually like you or your channel that that brought you involved for that. It's that I'm like, well, after 21 days, surely I'll get a gift.
That's fine. I mean, I get that. That's that's understandable. I'm used to it. So I'm painting clones. I'm sorry, I didn't get the memo, even though there's Rohan in the thumbnail for the video. I've got it is tournament. Wildly obscured by my face, to be fair. Yeah. I'm doing a tournament next week. It'll be my first time playing clones. It's my first time in an awesome store.
Star Wars Legion, obviously, for those who
aren't
aren't familiar with the clones. What's in your clone list for the Star Wars Legion event?
Anyone who knows anything about Star Wars Legion is going to hate me for this, so please do hear me out. My list might as well be the kind of list that you download from the internet. It's Yoda, who's very powerful at the moment. It's Padme, who kind of ignores a recent nerf to clones. We'll explain in a second. It's 3 units of Phase 1 clones, 1 vanilla, 2 with special weapons, 1 clone commander, and the Saber tank. Now, the reason I think some people who know Legion will be a bit upset is because clones recently, they were kind of ruling the roost for a bit, and then they got nerfed quite heavily. But this is one list that still apparently works. Now,
like sort of gets around the nerf in a way.
it does get around the nerf. It's still pretty meta as I understand it, but there's a reason. I have never, ever, not once, won a game of Legion outside of my immediate friendship circle.
Oh, really?
And usually, yeah, never. And usually I say, I finish and I'm like, oh, haha, it's because I brought a fun list. You know, I brought some droids. They don't really work together. No one really rates them, but, you know, it was a bit of fun. And it kind of started off being true, and now it's just become a bit of a mantra. So this is my no excuses event. I'm bringing a list that everyone says works. If I lose all 3 games, that is entirely down to me, and I'm going to see if I can break my streak. So that's what I'm painting.
I guarantee. Imagine it's like, you know, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose games now because of this. Like, it's just the dice gods will see you and they will raise your wager, and you will roll blanks every time you need to roll blocks, and you will roll pips every time you need to roll blanks. It's gonna happen now. I'm just showing the guys on my stream some of my Royal Guard here now. These are the ones that we were working on last week. They've come along a little bit, so we're going to be chipping away at these today. And then I have also replaced some of the plastic horses. I need a full 12. Oh, you know what, Alex? We have to talk about something in a minute. I need your opinion. So I need your expertise. As you can see, these guys are all fully removable. I had some questions about this last time. Why? Why, Lockie? Why? Why would you do this? Why would you go to all this effort of putting in a whole bunch of amazing high-quality magnets from the magnetbaron.com, link down in the description? Because all of these metal cataphracts are out of production now, and they're quite rare. I've had a whole bunch of lovely people sending me boxes of metal cataphracts because they love the project. And I don't have their names to hand, otherwise they get a big juicy shout out, but they will when I do another video on them. And so I want to be able to reuse these for my Khand army eventually, and my other Easterling army. So the magnetization was a natural go-to. Plus it also means that I can swap the units back and forth depending on what I want them to be. Now for this list, for example, this guy here is a Rohan Royal Guard, but sometimes I need it to be a Ranger of the North, proxied as a mounted Citadel Guard. So that's also the benefit of magnetization, is I can swap out the riders depending on what list I'm running. And that feeds us into the next question, which is this army here. We talked about this a little bit on stream last time. Here's sort of the full layout of all the models. God, my room is a mess. I'm so sorry. Can I even get wide enough to see it all? No, I'm on my A6400 here, so I'm a bit tired. So this army here, this is the, oh, there's the edge of frame. All right, I'm onto it. These are my heroes. I've got Theoden. I've got Éomer. You'll notice his spear has been repaired since last week. I've got Éowyn. I found her spear. That was a mission. I had to rip apart my whole throwing spear, my whole storage unit to find her spear. I've got Daewine here. I found my Daewine conversion buried in another box. And I've got Gamling, and then, of course, Elfhelm up the back here as well. And then Merry is... I just used the original Éowyn model because it's so beautiful. And then I'm going to get a second Merry and just have it running beside her on the base to show that that is Dernhelm. This is obviously the Riders of Theoden. And then I have 12 Rohan Royal Guard, mostly with throwing spears. 2 of them don't have throwing spears. They've just got the swords, and 1 of them has a banner. So that is 800 points of Riders of Theoden. And then I have got the alternate list, which is the Host of Thengel, which many of you guys on the channel will know. So here we've got this is my Aragorn King Elessar proxy, which is young Aragorn disguised as Thorongil in Rohan armor and a Rohan horse. Then there's a whole bunch of other characters here. This one here is Forlong, the profile of Forlong from the fiefdoms, and a Knight of Dol Amroth. And those guys are proxying to a Rohan Lord from Harrowdale and one of his Knights of Harrowdale, which is another fief in Rohan. It's actually just near Edoras when they're riding up to the Paths of the Dead, the entrance to the Paths of the Dead at Dunharrow. That is in the fiefdom of Harrowdale. I've got 1 Rohan Outrider. Got a couple of poses to choose from. The same amount, sort of like 10... Royal Guard, a couple of the same heroes. Dernhelm's in the list as well. I can actually show you guys the finished list a bit later on. Oh my god! Oh, am I being really loud? Sorry, I'm nearly waking the children here. Ladies and gentlemen, get your stream bingo ready. Clarissa has broken in to give me a banana. Is that for me?
No, but there's another one out in the kitchen.
Oh wow! So she comes in. Look at that. I want to show you the stream. I'm not gonna eat it. She comes in with this, and I'm all like, "Oh, yum!" And then she hands me a banana.
Well, they didn't ask for additions to the bingo. They
I see.
asked for bingo.
Are you watching?
Yes.
Oh
Also, somebody has asked because I thought I'd come past in because you're not paying attention.
no,
to me,
sorry.
right?
Yes, Larissa's paying attention to the chat. Don't worry.
When you zoom in, bring it closer because when it's on split screen, it's really small. You can't actually.
Oh,
see
of course. You guys are looking at half the screen. Thank you so much to whoever said that in the chat. Sorry, I'm paying less attention to the chat.
Okay, I got ya.
Thank you, Larissa. Of course, we're on split screen, so you guys can't see shit. So, I'm assuming as it's late at night my time that no one's watching this with their children, but they probably still are, so I probably need to be a little bit more relaxed. Okay, so let's see. That looks a bit better on the stream, right? Here, I'll show you guys my Aowen again. There's Aowen. She looks okay. She needs a little bit of work. Anyway, so we'll go through models and stuff in a sec. The question that we are starting to work towards here on this stream, and Alex, I'll need your opinion on this. It is, and I said I'd decided when we were on the stream earlier in the week, but I'm not decided. I'm well beyond decided. After a few more conversations with George, the head of the New Zealand Hobbit League, New Zealand Middle Earth League, I am well back on the fence. 2 years ago, in 2019, I took my 800 points of Riders of Theoden, and I came third at the Wellington League Final, the big New Zealand showpiece event. And I'm going back there. I'm moving to New Zealand, as everyone knows, in early November, and the final this year in Christchurch is November the 24th. So I'm going to be able to attend. It's my first tournament in 2 years. Do I take the exact same list again, or do I take the new upgraded version of it? So, Alex is well versed in Riders of Theoden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's he plays a lot of games. And then every time I watch a battle report, I send him notes. Like the arsehole I am. Shouldn't have done that. Anyway, but he's well aware of it. But obviously, Alex, do you want to fill the viewers in what happened recently with regard to the nerfs to Riders of Theoden while I sit here and seductively consume this phallic fruit?
I mean, one, I'd very much enjoy watching you seductively consume the phallic fruit. Two, I really didn't realise when I was invited on that I would have to have any kind of knowledge of anything.
I
know.
He said, "What's going to be on the stream, Lockie?" Absolutely nothing is what I said. So.
Well, look, I mean, I thought I was invited because you wanted a present, not because you wanted my professional input.
This is true.
Okay, I mean, look, this is the extent of what I know about Riders of Theoden.
Okay.
And I know obviously that the banner nerf was like massive in terms of
all my fault.
I also know that it's all your fault because
Yeah.
obviously I've been watching your videos and you've been quite vocal about that, and I despise you for it because I'm recent to Riders of Theoden. The first time I used them was in February this year, and that actually went remarkably well. But it probably would have gone better if I'd had all that might to generate.
Oh,
so
you've only played them post nerf.
I've only ever played them post nerf.
Wow.
That seems to be what I do. I tend to buy into armies post nerf, not because I'm some kind of like good guy that doesn't want to play the meta, but because I'm always too late. I'm like, right, that army's really good. Let's get into that. And by the time I painted it, it's all gone.
It's all been
over.
nerfed. Yeah. It doesn't often happen in SPG. We very rarely get tweaks.
Because it's such a good game.
Any plans in... Yeah, that's right. All credit to Jay and Rob. Like last week's video was just like me, like... I mean, only for like 30 seconds, but I just had a big like J-gasm. J. They're good. They're good guys. Larissa says... Oh, that's my Larissa. I was about to read her comment. Don't need to read her comments. She's describing apparently the chat is very interested in the finger bun she was eating. Apparently there is one out there, so I could go and get one. I was about to be like, if you want to see me eat the finger bun, you got to super chat, but this is my tiny channel that doesn't have that enabled. So super chat in spirit, just type in super chat and then don't give me any money and I'll eat the finger bun. Sam says, any plans of collaborating with Jazza and his Tabletop Time channel? I do actually know Jazza. He's a lovely guy. We've chatted a bit. Who knows? Anything can happen. Oh, no.
Can I just say that? Can I interject to say that's quite insulting, I think, to be like, to be talking about other collaborations.
So, like, this Battle Camper stream's not going real well, Lockie. Do you have plans on, like, streaming with any other channel? Yeah. Well,
But, yeah,
wow.
it's like,
They're nice, aren't they,
fuel.
my chat? Show us the
yeah,
finger bun.
really lovely.
I'm not going to get the finger bun. Not yet, anyway. You need to all like the video. We've got 121 concurrent viewers, and I can't actually tell how many likes from here. 60. There it is.
61. Yeah.
We'll get the bun if you all behave. Then you'll get the bun. Alex, you know you like your Riders of Theoden. Now they did get the nerf. Now for those of you who don't know how the banner works, this is Gamling here we're talking about. Mr. Gammers himself. He doesn't have his horse, which painted on the banner, which is very naughty, but we'll get there. So Gamling used to generate 1 free might point per turn for every hero that was on 0 might when it was nearby. Then some idiot, some absolute numbskull with a YouTube channel decided to go on and on about how good that was and make heaps of videos about him stomping people at tournaments. Not quite, but I did have like a very good win-loss ratio using this list. 17 wins, 3 draws, and 1 loss in my 2019-2020 tournament cycle. Quite good. It was only a couple of tournaments, really. That's like 5 events, I think that was, or 6 events, which is what I ran them at. And I made videos on that. So that the ban ended up getting nerfed, so that only 1 might point per turn can be generated. I personally would have preferred if it was any hero within range on a 4+, because then it wasn't like a guaranteed thing, or if it was Gamling and 1 other. That would have been my pick. But lots of people were whinging, so the banner got nerfed pretty hard. So when that happened, I was like, right, they're taking my banner? Shove ya. I'm going to rebuild a list that encapsulates what that banner mechanic used to do. So I was like, first of all, I've got to take Theoden, I've got to take Gamling. They are the must picks, because I still want the banner might engine. I just needed a way to make more might, and I need Theoden to make the army still behave. I was like, I need to recreate my old list without, using a new mechanic. So I decided to bring Aragorn King Elisar and get his free might per turn, and that way I can get 2 might points per turn, and this time they don't all have to be located around Gamling, they can be on separate flanks, and having might generation on 2 flanks is amazing. Aragorn also adds so much to this list, because he is basically everything that my Rohan list isn't, which is a fight 6 hero with an elven blade. So he is just like everything you want that you don't have. Aragorn provides. You don't have to strike up against other Fight 5 heroes. You don't have to, you can draw elves. He just, oh my goodness, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And he's winning the roll-offs on a 4-up most of the time. So it is juicy. It is juicy. And then because I was like, all right, then I can get a really nice variety of troops. So I brought in a mounted Citadel guard. Just to get me that longbow on a horse, so that because you usually always have 1 warrior from this list sitting back on an objective in a lot of formats, but when you're a royal guard, all you can do is sit on the objective, which is fine, he's doing his job, but if you've got a longbow, you can also do a little bit more. You can fire off a few shots. The Citadel guard still has bodyguard, which means that he can still automatically pass his courage checks if Aragorn's alive. Which operates in the same way, and he gets to add a bow shot as well. Plus, they're no slouch in combat as well if you want to charge in with Fight 4 cavalry. Still perfectly fine in non-objective games. And I can theme him beautifully as a Ranger of the North, accompanying young Aragorn. I also, at one point, was taking Beregond on horse for the same thing, and he was meant to be like a young Halbarad. So young Halbarad, young Aragorn, secretly in disguise as Thorongil and co, hanging out with Thengel, Theoden's father. So then I also had Gamling in there representing Gamling's father, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, but I do have it in my list. And then I also, because I was like, all right, if I'm taking a Green Alliance, Minas Tirith and Rohan, what else is like a really cool element that I can bring in? And then I decided to bring in Forlong from the Fiefdoms, who's also a Green Alliance, and represent him. Oh no, that's right. Forlong is Grimbold's dad. So I was like, this is the way I can finally get Grimbold on horse. And I was like, if any other character in the game feels like Grimbold, it's Forlong, a big strength 5 troop muncher. He definitely feels like he could be Grimbold's dad. So this model here, which is the Gamling the gambling model, the unreleased gambling model that got released on a made-to-order with no banner, I decided to make Grimbold's dad. Where the Fruit Loops is my camera? There we go. Focus, please. This is Grimbold's dad. So he's got a throwing spear. He's got his helmet. This pose automatically comes with a horn, so it fits Forlong perfectly. It is. I'm glad you're monitoring the chat, Alex, because I'm just ranting here. So thank you.
I'm monitoring the chat.
Yeah, I saw you comment. You said you're a diamond.
Oh yeah, I'm just fishing out my compliments.
Okay, cool. So you're not helping at all. Yeah, great. So anyway, so the list has Forlong, Aragorn, Theoden, Gamling, Dernhelm as the 5 heroes. I think that's everyone. And it has about 17 models. My other riders of Theoden has... and Merry, of course, because Dernhelm is there. So that's where the 6th hero comes in. So 6 heroes and 11 troops takes it to 17 models. Or the Riders of Theoden list has 6 heroes again. 7 heroes? 7 heroes. And 12 troops? Oh, now I've lost myself. 19 models? Anyway, they're very close. It's like 19 models or 8. Yeah, it's 18 models because Dernhelm's on 1 horse. They're very similar in numbers, and they're almost similar in heroes. You've got slightly less in the Host of Thengel, but you've got Aragorn. What are your thoughts, Alex, after hearing that huge info dump? And me rambling has just cost us like 50 concurrent viewers. I better start painting.
That was a great ramble. I was just like, I can't believe you invited me to say any. I mean, I couldn't have described your list anyway, but you were like, why don't you talk us through these changes? And then you just go on through this incredibly clinical, and that's not an insult. That sounds like an insult, but it was a very clinical dissection of what's happened and what's good and what's not good. I personally think it is really exciting. The thing for me about Rohan, I haven't played them that often, as we discussed. I've only been playing them since February. I absolutely love them, but also I feel like you need to do something to spice them up, not just to win, but just to enjoy the games. Because, I learned very quickly, and as a rookie to the game, I felt like, you've got an army that ignores the bow limit, for example, and you've got, a whole heap of bows if you're going with mostly riders rather than Royal Guard across the board. And therefore, that feels very special. And as a newbie to the game, it felt like something I should be taking advantage of as much as possible. And I think one of the things you very helpfully and not at all passive aggressively contacted me about after watching one of the games in which I got trampled was, what are you doing sitting back and shooting Goblin Town Horde?
Yeah.
Picking off like 3 goblins a turn when they're generating like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And very fair, very, very fair point. I think I expected the army to play in a particular way, and therefore built the list to play that way. I took it in the Legendary Legion, and I took so that I could get the death bonuses. And I thought you shoot until you're ready to charge, and then you have a big charge. And sometimes that worked really well. And that tournament did in the end go quite well, although due to some quite intense luck. But obviously, when it's not going well, you've just got nothing else you can do. And I think thinking about what you want in terms of contingency planning when the big charge isn't materializing or doesn't go quite your way, is probably the next step for me in thinking about how I actually try and eke some more wins out of that list.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it plays in a massive death ball. So Alex's list that he's been running is basically the same heroes as me, I think, slightly fewer, right? How many heroes do you run at 800 points?
Yes, it's Dernhelm, Aomer, Theoden, and Gamling.
Okay, so you don't take Elfhelm. That's our only difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And then we have a difference of opinion on Royal Guard. So I only had a trio of Royal Guard.
I somehow always manage to forget and forgive you for that. And then you remind me, and I'm like, oh, that's right, he's an absolute nutcase.
What? Okay, can I state my case in terms of the Royal Guard?
You can try.
We can try.
Brace for spawn.
I'm ready. I've got in. So, look, the rules for Royal Guard obviously are great. I'm not disputing that they have a great role. The models, I think, is where we particularly diverge, but I'll get to that in a moment. The starting point is the price, and I like the money price. And I hate talking about money price because it's a toxic and useless conversation we generally have in this community. But it's not height that it gets to, it's the discrepancy between Royal Guard mounted and Royal Guard on foot. Royal Guard on foot in the UK, you pay out £8.50 for 3.
Yep.
Mounted, you pay £33 for 3. And
Jeez,
the sculpts are almost identical. Like, yeah, fine, the horse ones are bow-legged, but there's nothing more expensive about producing them. The only difference is you get 3 of the plastic horses, which you also get in the Riders of Rohan kit for a much, much smaller price. So it's insanity. You know, I'd be less upset if the riders stayed the same price, but the unmounted guys, the foot sloggers, their price was inflated dramatically, because at least then I'd feel like there's some kind of fairness in the universe. And then in terms of models, look, okay, I'm gonna spin this in such a way that you can't be too mad at me.
Okay.
Maybe it's just I don't have your talent to make them look any good.
Oh,
maybe I am simply it's too much of a learning curve for me. But I can make the Riders of Rohan look, I think, pretty good. But I really struggle with the mounted guys. I think the capes, as is typical with a lot of the metal models in the range, flow in quite an illogical way. And there's a lot of very, very, I can see with the model you're painting now, like the ripples in the cloak are quite close and tight together. And therefore it's very, very hard to do any like blending and hard to get as much kind of natural contrast out of them. I just don't enjoy painting them. I just didn't have fun with it. Whereas I do have a lot of fun with the plastic riders.
Interesting. Wet blending is the way, my friend.
Yeah.
I just wet blend the crap out of these cloaks. I love it so much. I find it so satisfying. But I mean, I'll wet blend anything. It's a really fun technique. I love the models, and also I probably look at them through this intense lens of nostalgia, because they were like my dream models and dream army when I was a kid that I never owned, and that my friend did, and I wanted them badly. Odie, a long time member of the chat and Zorpazorp Patreon family. He's sent in some gorgeous models. We've got our Minas Tirith civilians were sent in by Odie that some of you guys might remember, which we used in our battle reports on the channel.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they're so nice. We'll be using them in some more battle reports when we do the big siege as well. Just quietly, before we finish on that point, you can see that's dried now. I'm not sure how well it's showing up in the color, but I've just redone the highlights on the cloak after the matte varnish, and suddenly that green is looking absolutely amazing now. So I'm pretty happy with that. Odie asks the question, did I cry when hacking up a limited edition model with reference to my gambling? Because it is like an out of production, quite hard to get model. And my answer for did I cry was no, I felt absolutely fine because I bought 4 of them. Because I knew I would not be able to cope if I hacked it up and like ruined it. And so I was just like, I just went all in. And I've been waiting for that pose to be released because I've known about it for a long time. For a very, very long time. And so when that went on, that was an expensive day on the GW Australia website. Because they don't send me made to orders usually. So I had to buy it. And yes, that's how I got through the pain of cutting up the limited edition model. I thought originally I was like, I'll get 1 to keep forever and paint up as display, 1 to sort of paint on stream, and then a couple for battle companies conversions. And then I ended up thinking of this cool conversion idea, and it worked really well. You've got them all, yeah, that's right. Stippling, cross-hatching, and small scratchy lines are the way to highlight cloaks, says Bryce and Bantams. Yeah, that stuff looks really good as well. Especially if you want that extra texture.
I tried doing stippling highlights for some 40k models, and
was that the the dudes from the castle? What are they called? Yeah,
that's the ones. The snipers. I don't know what their names are. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thanks very much for remembering, mate. I appreciate that.
Hey, I'm not kidding. I watch your content like viciously and over again.
Well, I appreciate that because you know I've been battling for a long time. Oh no, I didn't get subscribe in there.
Here we go. You got to start at the start.
Okay. Well, I subscribe to the theory that if you're going to battle. No, wait. I forgot 2 again.
What is it? Subscribe to 2.
Subscribe to Battle Camper. Okay, right. Well, third. Take 3.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it. Okay, ready? Everyone, wish me luck. Okay. I really do subscribe to the theory that. In the, when you battle for a good-looking miniature in a crowded market, that, I think you really got to set up camp on, a theory that just works for you. You got to find the one that works for you and make it work rather than just flitting between different techniques.
The subliminal messaging is absolutely sublime. I think all of my audience just went and subscribed to Battle Camper without even realizing.
Let's find out. Let's see. I was on 860 when this started, and you know when you're a little guy like me and you're not even at 1,000 yet, yeah, you count everyone.
Yeah, you're right. Hang on. Let me fix up this nonsense and get your channel link in the video description. Hang on.
Well, you've already had 6 absolute legends subscribe, so grateful to whoever.
Look at this. All I have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is type B into my Google Chrome browser, and the first thing that comes up is Battle Camper's channel home. Not bad.
Mark Hansen, you're still a legend, even though you're already subscribed. Thank you very much.
Alright, I'm adding it to the top of the description box.
You're a champion, thank you.
There you go. Everyone go and click on that. Oh, actually, I can set up an auto-subscribe filter. Does that work? Where they just click on it and become... No, it doesn't work because it's not my channel. Okay. There you go. All of you go and subscribe right now. Already subscribed, says Mark. Good job, good job. D-Slide says, wow, I suddenly feel an urge to subscribe to a channel.
It's working.
What could it be? So I just threw down some more Caliban green, which is my classic green. What I'm doing is I'm putting these layers down, and then while they're wet, the first pass, I guess, is clean up any chips, because these guys are quite well traveled. And you'd be thinking, oh, that's strange, Loki. Why are you applying the base coat to the highlight? And it's because I need the base coat down simply so I can wet blend in my mid-tone and my highlights into a wet working layer. So in goes a mix of Warpstone Glow and Caliban Green, just to bring a bit of life. I quite like these greens, Caliban Green and Warpstone Glow, because they're kind of desaturated. They're kind of like a green-grey. And I tried to move my Rohan away from that bright Christmas green Rohan, like I love a bright Christmas red, but when you have the bright Christmas green and the bright Christmas red, it kind of goes a bit intense, in my opinion. So I tried to mute them and make them look a little kind of cooler, in a way.
I agree completely. I think that's why I'm intrigued that you use Caliban Green as the base. I think I use War Flesh, which is like, it's just a bit of a leafier green for me.
I've got War Flesh over there. Yeah, it's a good one too.
Yeah. You get I can't tell which one gives you a more cloaky flesh, disturbing notion, a more cloaky tone, because I think the Caliban Green is certainly it's bolder, and I think it's probably a bit closer to the films, and it's also easier to distinguish it from like if you want earthy tones on the base. So for example, if you're doing like a wooded base, or even if you've just got if you've got any kind of woodsy other stuff in your army. So for example, if you've also painted Ents like some idiot, then it's really hard to distinguish the cloaks from the tones you're getting in the leaves and the foliage and the scrubs and things like that. So I think Caliban works really nicely for that. Whether basically your color palette works really nicely for that.
Yeah, it's kind of, I used to do Dark Angel's green as my base for all my green cloaks back in the day. Not the contrast paint, the original Citadel.
I was going to say, does that still exist?
Yeah, no, not at all. And Caliban green got reintroduced as the replacement for Dark Angel's green, and they are not the same paint at all. Dark Angel's green is much warmer. It's got much more yellow pigment in it. And this has, it's a much cooler green. And that sort of annoyed me initially. But back then I was a very young hobbyist. I didn't really understand like how I could substitute or change that, and so I just went with it. And now I love it. It's much more. I like it for my Rohan. It looks really cool.
Nice. Yeah, it's very striking.
So so what do you think about my idea of what draws you more at first thought? Like thematically, first running the big Pelennor charge, or young Aragorn riding around on a horse with Thengel, Theoden's father. And what do you think competitively? Do you like the idea of, because as I'm sure you've experienced, being capped out at Fight 5 can be quite painful when you come up against certain things. Aragorn can add some fun element to that. So what theme-wise and competitively, what's your leaning on Riders of Thengel or Riders of Theoden?
Okay. Well, first I'll say, for me, the priority is always theme, and that's just personal taste. It's no disrespect to people who who enjoy kind of creating these lists with winning in mind. That's kind of an art, and I respect it. But even in tournament play, for me, the thing I love most is when you turn up at a game and a story develops on the board. And so even when I was, back in the day when I was watching your videos about young Aragorn riding to war in Rohan, it really grabbed me. And so my even sans meta and tactical analysis, I think that is my starting point. I think that's awesome. I really love it. In terms of not having the fight value and being able to get the fight value on the board, having the elven weapon on the board, it's interesting, isn't it? Because people look at even with the nerfed gambling banner. I got some comments at when I was at Scaring of Cheshire, which is an awesome tournament if anyone's not been and is UK based, in Stockport last year. But it's like, obviously you take gambling, he's still really good. It's like he is, but also you're burning through might to get those strikes. Like using the death ability, you need to call it absolutely right to get the strikes in key turns. And I think having that fight value on the table would be, if nothing else, an amazing safety blanket. So that if you feel like halfway through the game you've called death wrong, if you're in the Legion, or if you've simply burned through the might that you've got available to strike up, and all of a sudden you're faced with a surviving high fight target, then it must be very, very nice to have a bit more flexibility worked in.
Yeah, it's very fun. Aragorn is very, very nice. I'm just gonna... Is that lighting better for you guys on the stream? It looks slightly different in person, but I am vibing that is going to be much more watchable. Let you know what you... Alex, can you just ask them to let me know if they think that looks better? Because when I try to talk to them directly, I seem to get the words wrong.
Chat, could you please let us know if that looks better on camera than it did back 10 or 20 minutes ago?
Okay, fantastic.
It's the
whiskey. I haven't even started. That's a good point. We need to bust out J-Mac's beautiful whiskey that he's got over there. The Aaron. Now, chat. Hit me up, because before there was some criticism being thrown that I didn't quite have time to respond to about potentially Aaron should always be drinking straight because it is a single malt Scotch whiskey. It shouldn't be on ice. Now, normally I just throw my whiskey on the rocks. Please educate me. If I'm making a huge faux pas there. In fact, I haven't seen Johnny comment since that moment, and I think maybe he has left in protest. We'll have to wait and see. Shawnee says 100% throwing weapons in Rohan. I've got 2 with swords, Shawnee, purely because of list dynamics. Because I'm building such a tight list in terms of points. So 2 of these guys have got swords, and Dernhelm actually doesn't have her throwing spear. Because that gives me an extra 9 points, which capitalized with the 6 points I had left over, allowed one more Royal Guard. Oh god, we've got some strong opinions on the single malt. D-Slide says totally a valid way to enjoy it, but it does significantly change the flavor. L Sid says single malt Scotch mixed with anything is a war declaration. That's stark. Kieran Voice says nah, drink whiskey how you like, but the only brew for the brave and true comes from the Green Dragon. And last lines of Noobs and Men. Oh, that's Shawnee. Says, that's a lot of throwing weapons. What a memer. Isonaut is fine. Anyone who says different is a snob. Wow, there are some strong opinions.
We've really started this thing. I mean, I hope that that's the correct opinion, because I'm actually going to Scotland in hopefully a couple of weeks' time to do a video with J-Mag.
Oh, nice.
And
you might not be anymore. You might be uninvited.
Well, exactly. I would normally drink it with ice. You've at least got the excuse of living in an intolerably hot country where presumably ice is just a necessity for everything.
Only for now, though, right? Like my brother-in-law is over on holiday in Queenstown, in the center of the South Island, which is semi-close to where we want to live eventually. And it's like it was 7 degrees today, and now it's nighttime. It's like -2, I think. So I will no longer have any excuse for ice very soon. Very soon.
It's a worthy price to pay to be near all the Lord of the Rings goodness.
It is going to be good. Yeah, we've got a trip coming up in. Oh, there he is. Johnny's back in the chat. All right, I'll go get a glass in a moment. Alex, you'll have to hold the fort and say nice things about me while I'm gone, and not use it to seize control of the chat. while I leave you on
Is it okay if I
supervised.
just scream the word "subscribe to Battle Camper" over and over and over again?
I would expect nothing less.
Wonderful, thank you very much.
Oh, I wonder if the music chat. Hey, can you guys still hear music? I think I might have forgotten to set that to loop. Let me know if the music is gone. No one wants to hear our voices with no music. Good lord, they need accompaniment. My god, this is once I actually pick up the paintbrush. There's music, beautiful. I'm getting so much achieved.
I'm not. For a little time. I'm planning on going up. So my plan is, I'm going up on Friday night after work.
Okay.
Tournament's on Sunday. I won't have based anything. I'm just getting the paint jobs done, and then I'll leave the basing because I'm going to go I'm guerrilla camping in the woods on Saturday. Well, Friday and Saturday. And on Saturday, I'm going to go foraging for sticks and leaves and bits and stuff.
Nice. For the bases.
For the bases. The amazing this. I don't know if anyone knows. I think a lot of people will know Will Champion at Seven City Collectibles.
Oh, is that where the event is?
That's where the event is.
Oh, nice. Say hi to Will for me.
I will. He's very kindly set me up on one table for the whole day, which is obviously amazing for filming because it means I'm not. I use 4 cameras to do tournament reports, and it's an absolute faff when I'm moving about and everyone's busy. But it means that in exchange, I promise to base my miniatures to match his table. To make it look as good as I possibly can on camera.
Amazing.
It's a forest table, so I'm going to go and I'm going to get some local Nottingham woods and shrubs and sticks and stuff like that.
That's so cool. That's a good hook for a video too.
Cool. Exactly, and it's all about the content. It's
Yep.
I saw a great meme of a guy the other day who the picture is the text is when I realize I'm living in the moment rather than exploiting my life for content. And the picture is just of someone vomiting violently into the street, and that's exactly how I feel.
Yep, it feels a bit like that. I mean, this is the only way I get to do like my own personal Warhammer. Is
apparently you're quiet, like Lucky.
Oh, I'm quiet, am I? Sorry.
You're quiet. Yeah.
Try that, guys. How's that better now? Who said that?
Kenny Gage.
Kenny. Hey, Gagey. How you going, dude? You were still quiet as fuck, though. Shit, man. How long have I been quiet? God damn it. Silly Lucky. I haven't quality checked. Let me know if I'm better now, Ken.
I think that they probably you're not quiet. They're just trying to drown me out. It's like it's like we came here for Zorp, damn it, and we're not leaving until we get it.
No, you're good. Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
J-Mac says, are most people open to being on camera? Is that at tournaments?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. You go first.
Yeah. So I found generally yes. There's 2 things you've got to watch out for. Firstly, anyone who says who has any kind of qualms about it at all, I always check before the game, and I always say the gaming comes first. People have paid for their tickets. They want to enjoy 6 games. Some people, even if they would kind of grudgingly consent to being on camera, they're not really going to be into it. And so if they're not really going to be into it, we just say no. And I take kind of hesitation as a no, because I really don't want anyone to feel like they're under pressure to do something they're not
Yeah, they don't want their gaming experience ruined.
Exactly. The second is sometimes it takes a lot of time, and if you're under pressure, I might just say let's just crack on with the game because this is going to take a bit of time to get the setup going. And finally, one thing I've run into a surprising number of times is Games Workshop employees who are like, we're not allowed to be on camera and we don't want to be on camera. And sometimes they'll let me film as long as I only film the miniatures and don't point cameras at them and don't say who they are. But yeah, sometimes they just don't want to be filmed at all.
Yeah, they got to have a lot of them aren't forward facing in their contract, which is a clause they have to be allowed to go on camera.
And some of them are and don't want to be. They. I've had some rather famous faces.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I literally couldn't film with Jay and Rob.
Yeah.
Like that's how as someone, like, I was flown to Games Workshop to, like, as part, like, by them to do media stuff with them and to do a bunch of things and a bunch of stuff that we had planned, and I wasn't allowed to put the head of Middle Earth and the rules writer on camera because their contracts weren't forward facing. So, like, it's they're you literally only the marketing team can get approved to go on camera. So yeah, those guys are spot on. That's why. So yeah, it's just a thing, unfortunately. Hopefully in the future when I go back to the UK, we can have some stuff organized in advance that we can get approved by the marketing people, and hopefully we can get Rob and Jay on the channel, because I know they'd love to come on and say hi to everyone, but it's just a matter of what they're allowed to.
Yeah,
it'd be great fun. Be great fun to get them on the channel. That originally Jay and I wanted to film that game, the one where I beat
that
him.
would be awesome.
Where I talk that I talk about a lot. Although I'm kind of glad that it wasn't filmed, because the fact that it wasn't filmed means that there's no evidence of how I didn't do anything at all, and that it was all literally. I've never seen a game that was so horrendously one-sided in dice, especially SPG, which is like the most. You know, there's so many dice rolled over such a high movement to damage ratio, that like the game is so impervious to like swingy luck most of the time. But sometimes, man, you just, at the end of the day, it is a dice game. Jay just couldn't win anything. It's rough.
That is rough.
But it's great fun. I tease him about it all the time.
It's like one game I played at Seven Stones this year, where I rolled 3 times, and it was with a partner I'd never met him before. He's an awesome guy and an absolutely incredible painter. So if anyone wants to head over to Battle Camper after this and check out that video,
I can attest it's a good video. I watched it last week, actually.
Thank you very much. We won Best Painted, but I'm under no illusion for the fact that he won Best Painted, and I just didn't let him down, basically.
You accompanied.
Yeah, exactly. I was also there. And we were playing. I can't remember what the scenario was, but it was with the chaotic roll for deployments, roll for reinforcement. Maelstrom, thank you very much. And I rolled a 1 for the first turn to get Theoden on, so he didn't turn up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I said, well, let's just wait. And we were kind of like, well, it's turn 1. There's not too much going on. Let's just wait. And then I rolled a 1 again the second turn, and he was like, all right, okay, you're going to spend the might point then. I was like, well, let's not spend the might point, because you know our opponent was a dragon, and then a bunch of Easterlings.
Dragon game,
yeah. And we were close. The dragon was like, it was an inch from death. The King of the Dead and Aragorn were on it, which were his miniatures. We were in it. We were taking it. We didn't need to burn the might point. And he was a bit apprehensive about it, but kind of let me do my own thing, which is always a mistake. Turn 3, I rolled a 1 again, and he was like, spend the goddamn might point, spend the might point. And I was so reluctant to spend it. But
yeah, because it's like you're in now. You're like, I've committed to this strategy. I have made this choice not to save the might point. At this point, 100%. I would have rather spend the might point 2 turns ago.
Sunk costs theory, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because you spent those points, because you saved the points. You're like, I've got to use it for something useful later on. But then, of course, by the time Theoden actually turned up to do anything, most of the army was gone. So, yeah, I felt bad for my partner having to coach me through that like a toddler.
That's good fun.
All good fun.
What other Middle Earth armies are you leaning towards? Apart from your Rohan, are your Rohan days done? Are you putting them to rest, or have you got more tournament plans for them, or what's on the horizon?
For the moment, I really want to try some new armies. I've got 2 in mind. The first is Lothorian, and the second is Isengard. Nice. Elves, just because in every game system I play, I tend to do an elfish army. I love elite, low model counts, tricksy plays.
Oh, actually, if you like elite low model count tricksy plays, I've got this amazing army that you should try.
Yeah.
It's called the Riders of Theoden.
That's it. Look, Riders of Theoden, I'm sure to someone with your magnificent brain, you know, they're full of tricksy plays. To me, it's like, let's hope I get priority. I didn't. Okay, well, let's write this one off then. Yeah, I mean, the Riders of Theoden are great fun, but I just really like the elves. I love the models. I love the way that they play. Isengard, because just because they look so good, they look stunning. I love the idea of this, you know, this phalanx of armored orcs with, you know, 12-foot pikes. I don't even care whether they're any good.
They are ridiculous, aren't they?
So much, yeah.
They used to be like the meta. I remember when, like, you know, the Two Towers meta came out, and suddenly it's like Uruk-hai is just ridiculous compared to every other troop choice in the game.
And how's that held up? Where would you place them now?
depends on the specific list, as always. They're just all round absolutely solid. Definitely not a poor choice at all. There are a couple of lists that are intense. Oh, thank you very much. I'll restart the music. There are a couple of lists that for a while were pretty intensely broken. The big explosion-y one with the Helm's Deep Legendary Legion.
I've seen your battle report with the blowing up the sections of the wall and what the bombs can do under the right circumstances.
Yeah, they're quite good, those bombs.
Yeah. Maybe we can get sorry.
My mate Jakey used to run double bombs, and then he would basically just bait enemy heroes towards you. Jasmine Tetley made it massive in the GBHL as well, where she'd be taking, I think, 2 ballistas and 2 bombs, and you're just shooting and ballistering your opponents towards you because they have to come towards you while they're just getting peppered by ballistas. And then you just put bombs wherever they're going to be and then detonate them so it blows up half of your line and half of theirs, but it doesn't matter because their Aragorn is dead. So they had a moment where they were filth, but I think the rules got changed for the bombs, and they're not as egregious anymore. Saruman's great fun, but he's can be tricky to use. But if you get him right, he's fantastic. Isengard, they're just a really solid all-round choice. I'd say they're pretty balanced now.
Well, that's cool. That's good. I mean, the other thing is obviously for me, I really want to find a good pairing location. If I'm going to do a video filming on these armies, which I think I will, where can I go that would make a really cool, like a cool inspirational accompaniment to painting either elves or Isengard. So if anyone in chat, I think I've got an elf one down. But if anyone
locally in the UK,
somewhere to go in the UK, yeah. So we can't all live near New Zealand.
Okay.
So somewhere in the UK that might thematically pair with Isengard. I mean, I was thinking of J-Max says a pub east end of Glasgow.
I wonder. Right, okay. You occupy the chat. I'm going to go get my glass for some whiskey.
Okay. Well, chat. Anyway, my thinking was somewhere very industrial, like thinking about going to like old mining towns in Wales, for example, where you can still go to old pits and see, kind of like the impact of industry on the landscape, particularly like 19th century industry on the landscape. I think that would be pretty tasty for Isengard. But welcome to ideas. For elves, it's basically going to be the Alps, I think. Sure, if you go to some Austrian Alpine valley, you're going to see somewhere that looks like it should be Rivendell. If you go to some Alpine woods with the mountains in the background, it's going to look very Lothlorien. So it's going to be one of those two. Kota says, go to where you painted the Ents and cut a tree down. Well, you said weirdly, in where we painted the Ents, which was basically on the border between Wales and Gloucestershire, I can't remember the name of the valley now. Why can't I remember the valley? Whatever, I can't remember the name of the valley, but somewhere around there, it was this beautiful, beautiful, pristine woods, like just mile after mile after mile of gorgeous and stunning woodland, except for this one patch right in the middle where acres of trees had all been lopped down and just left on the ground. So, I did think, is this some kind of like Isengard raiding party? You never know.
That sounds great.
Yeah, would the mod let you would the MOD let you into their artillery testing ranges? I mean, maybe I don't need their permission. Maybe that will is dodging artillery.
That'll increase the stakes of the video.
It will increase the stakes. Oh,
right,
it's out.
Let's have a whiff of this. Oh, it smells good. So I'm going full class here. I'm going with ice to start with because the great thing about ice, it melts, and then on my second one I can go iceless. And this was the only clean glass that was remotely appropriate. Good old McDonald's free glassware.
I've actually just that's a really nice. Sorry, I'm going to shut up while you take the magnanimous first sip.
The first sip. I better do this on camera. I'll get my sommelier on. Overtones of whiskey with undertones of ice. Oh, that is beautiful. Aaron, we're drinking today. Thank you, J-Mac. Thank you, Johnny. And thank you to all the guys involved in the Fiefdoms collab. I cannot wait to check out the models and keep drinking this all stream. Oh, man. The like, tingle. The tingle down the spine. That's so good. You should be drinking too, Alex. What do you have?
I'll get something.
Okay.
Give me a moment. All right. Am I wearing appropriate trousers? Probably not, but...
Yeah. He's bare feet, ladies and gentlemen. Lockie's starting a new channel where he tastes and reviews whiskey. Now I want one. Now I want one. Oh my god, that's so nice. So I normally drink. I don't sort of hugely drink. I would say like the odd whiskey is basically all I really do drink. Glenfiddich is what Ryan got for me at the end of Ardor Unleashed. And I had some monkey shoulder that a friend bought me after a film finished. Oh, that is so beautiful. Taste and review paint. Hey, I'm actually well dressed this evening, Kenny. There's no need for that kind of harsh judgment.
Okay, I think in probably what is quite a good visual analogy for our two channels.
Oh yeah, here we go.
You've got this beautiful, beautiful imported whiskey in a nice, I mean, a glass that does look like it's got the McDonald's M on it. But
No. It is the McDonald's M.
Okay, well you've got okay.
It's McDonald's
at least
glassware.
That brings me, but at least you have glassware. Everything in my house is dirty at the moment or smashed because the cat smashes a lot of stuff. So I have a tub, a Tupperware tub with ice in it.
Jesus Christ!
And I have the closest thing to whiskey I have in the house, which is the Jack Daniel's honey whiskey, which yeah is so lowbrow.
Larissa says, just a reminder not to get drunk tomorrow, or drunk prior to the early birthday tomorrow. Yes, it's Hazel and Larissa's. Oh, I've got to wrap Larissa's present. Hazel and Larissa's birthdays tomorrow.
Don't drink that. I'm sorry. Look, when I come north, you can show me what proper whiskey is.
Was that Johnny?
This is all I've got. It's Johnny. Yeah, it's all I've got. It's all I've got. I'm sorry. Please don't judge me.
Larissa says, how did the card buying go? Honey, I told you the card buying wasn't happening. I had to go to Coles, and we chose not to go to Coles, so no card for you.
I absolutely love this sort of domestic exchange.
It's a regular.
Through the medium of public chat.
Yeah. She's one room away, but buried under two children, so it's the only way. I'll add it to the list. If only you had a Hungry Jack's glass, Loki. That really embraced the Australian culture. I think we do have some Hungry Jack's glasses in the cupboard, actually. I don't know, do the food chains over there do like the free glassware campaigns regularly in the UK? It happens all the time here in Australia.
No, it's not. It's not really a thing here at all.
Wow.
Yeah, I wish it was. It sounds good. Particularly because I'm always running out of glassware. I mean, I could just be more careful, but the cat is responsible for a great deal of destruction around here. So,
Michael says, "No worries, Mrs. Larissa. We'll keep him sober."
How is it then? How's the whiskey?
That's beautiful. It's so nice. Okay, I've got 6 of the guard cloaks, and well, greens, because the shields are also green, so I've been doing them at the same time. So 6 are completely finished. The greens are completely finished. Then I would hazard a guess that we will then go model by model and lock off most of those to like a fully finished state, which is pretty cool. I'll just finish off these last 4. Oh, some of these are basically finished already. The greens are in much better condition. I think it's because they haven't been varnished, actually. Oh, man. I can feel the whiskey. I'm a very, very lightweight stream, so it doesn't take much for me to notice it.
See, I was just about to say exactly the same thing. Not that you're a lightweight, though.
You were going to say, stream, Lockie's a very, very lightweight. I know.
Yeah.
I know through the many cameras that I have installed in his house. Every time he drinks, it goes straight to his head.
Half an hour in, he's just knocked out.
Oh, and the shield. Oh, there's this shit. This guy's basically done already. Maybe I already did him and put him in the wrong place.
That's great when that happens, though. And you're like, oh, I've still got like 5 models left. And you're like, oh no, I've just, through maladministration, I have underestimated how much progress I've made.
Now, this guy needs a bit more work because all the greens look like they were done with the contrast paint back when I didn't know how to use it, so they're not applied particularly nicely. We will smooth out those blends.
Oh, can I ask? I'd like to ask Chat a question, if that's all right. Sorry, it's slightly off topic.
You may ask my chat a question.
I'm
Mission
many
granted.
thanks.
Yeah.
I'm moving soon, and I think about getting a dog. I want a golden retriever, and I think it'd be awesome to go traveling with a dog. I want a Lord of the Ringsy name for the dog.
Oh.
If you were gonna get a golden retriever, hi Physic Evo, hello. Get a JMac. No one can compete with your rabbit. If anyone sees JMac's channel,
It's an incredible rabbit.
excellent money. So I can't compete. No one can compete. But yeah, dog name ideas. The best I have at the moment is Radagast. I think that's quite a nice like doggy name, but it has to be exactly the right shade of brown. And I think it would have to have sort of like it'd have to be a very shaggy dog. Otherwise, maybe it needs a slightly more dignified name. Ideas welcome. Gripfang Wolf, Pippin the dog, pretty good.
Pippin's good.
Barker off. Kota says Bill the pony. That's great. I like the idea of calling a dog Bill the pony.
Frederick says Grip Fang Wolf. Like all 3 of them. So you can be like Grip Fang Wolf.
That's good. Shelob. I like Shelob. Goldberry.
Oh, what about if we
look at this. This is brilliant.
you should call it Huan. As
Huan.
Huan is the hound, the famous hound of the Maya. He's the hound of Tulkas, who saves Luthien saves her quite a few times actually.
So with no disrespect, I think it's a bit highbrow actually.
Wow. Someone has it. Hang on.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I want
Haven't you read the Silmarillion?
I want my dog to exist almost entirely in meme form. Now,
Yeah.
someone said the Balrog. I must admit that's halfway there. I think calling it Ilsildur's Bane is probably.
What
it's
about
probably
there's like the bell dog? There's some sort of pun there.
This given me a lot to think about. So thank you very much, everyone. Much appreciate.
Good job, stream. What we should
Yeah,
do
excellent.
is we should get you to commit to agreeing to call the dog whatever the stream decide. You can pick 4 of those options, and we make a poll.
I'm up for it. I will.
Alright.
I promise here on stream
Jesus
To,
Christ, Alex, what are you doing?
to commit to name my dog. But so you make suggestions. I'll pick 4. We'll
Yeah.
put those in a poll.
Okay.
Top one wins.
Yep. So start going through and narrow down your 4, and I'll add them to a poll. We can use the poll feature.
Oh, this is really exciting. Morgoth, I like that.
Morgoth is good. That's a
So,
good one.
J-Max says someone call 4chan. Grond, I like Grond.
Oh, Grond, Hammer of the Underworld. That's amazing. That has to be in the 4. That's so good.
All right, add Grond in. That's good.
All right. Oh, I need to zoom
I'll just
in
complete
again.
the deal. Whoever wins, if you email me, I'll send you some Battle Camper dices if you want them.
Oh, there you go. As if you
okay.
want them. I don't. So just like random people shouting out names on the internet, they'll get a gift from Battle Camper.
Yeah, exactly.
But Zorpazorp, no, he's not worth a gift.
So, you know,
I don't even want your dice. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, this is the thing. I thought it'd be insulting. You know, you've got better things to do than faff about with Battle Camper merch. Yeah. Although I do feel quite bad now.
It's fine. Don't worry. Once I put you to work next year, you're gonna feel that I'm greatly indebted to you.
I am putting a lot of faith in you, to be honest.
I'm building up the brownie points, and then just wait. You'll be like, I was incredibly taken advantage of and paid with exposure.
Right, so I need a notepad because there's so many in here.
Yeah, well, you have to do a full pros and cons list. Man, this guy. I think I'm actually gonna have to bust the shades back out to fix this atrocious paint job.
It's looking good from here.
No, it looks terrible. It's like an old contrast coat when I didn't know how to use the new Dark Angels green contrast, and it is in rough shape. I'm gonna recess shade to push it back.
I want to get names as well.
Gorgeous. What wash? I might even put. Should I put Null Oil in, or should I put Bealtan Green in? I think Null Oil. I think I just want Shadow.
Shagrat.
Oh, that's a good name. Oh, Shadowfax is solid. Call it Zorp Base, says Kenny.
So, Mark Hansen suggested Lackey, and that's on the list. So you might not be getting a gift, but maybe you'll get a dog out of it.
Dog named after me. God.
Bjorn, I like Bjorn.
Oh, Bjorn's good, yeah.
Battle Camper, when will you post the next video? I'll tell you what, I've got. I'll come to that in just a moment because there's a few cool stuff, few cool bits and bobs coming up. Although I really hate to turn Zorp Stream into like a plug fest. So thank you very much.
This is the streams channel. No one cares about anything on here. It's all very. There's no. Use it as your marketing platform.
I'm very, very grateful for that. I do like some of these, like just objectively speaking, quite ugly orc names. So we've got Sharku, Gorebag.
Gorebag's such a good.
Gorebag.
Gorebag, get over here.
Okay, I've got a potential 4 then already, but this is a big moment.
I think I can do more than 4.
Okay, well let's put a few more in then.
I'll have to work.
I'm going to add my own. My own is Iltildor's Bane. No, Durin's Bane. Durin's Bane. Sorry.
Well, I'm getting overexcited with the Null Oil, and I'm putting it in everywhere. I'll just get the Null Oil down for a bit of green. Next minute, everything's covered in Null Oil.
Taters.
Oh, taters. Potatoes.
I don't really want to boil and mash him or stick him in a stew though, so I might skip that one.
Boil and mash and stick him in a stew.
Oh, Sasquatch says Durin's Bone. That's excellent.
Durin's Bone. That's quality.
Okay, Sasquatch, if we don't put that on the list, I'm going to get him a day 1 toy, and the toy will be Durin's Bone.
Yep.
Day
1 toy. Sounds like day 1 DLC. I'll get him a
day one
day 1 toy.
It's the way I view the world now. It's quite unfortunate, to be honest. Shadowfax. I think Shadowfax is going to be on there. The problem is it's dependent. If it's fine, I'm going to get the dog to match the name. So if it goes with Shadowfax, it's going to have to be a light furred dog. Sharky, I like that. Okay.
Shout out to Warmonger, one of my newest Patreons who's watching the stream at the moment and painting up some. What are you painting? Let's have a look. Oh. Oh, nice. He's working on Men of Numenor.
Nice.
All right, let's have a look. Bit of null.
Okay, I think we've got the list.
Okay, you've got it. All right, let me put it in the voting mechanic. Man, I'm making so much progress on these. Royal Guard.
I'm not making any progress because I'm faffing
Look,
about.
I have a low bar for my painting progress though. All I've done is highlight 7 cloaks. That's it. That's
7 cloaks, mate. Don't put yourself down. That's...
Okay, how do I make a poll? I remember. All right. So okay.
Mark, you said would I send the dice to Spain? Yes, I will. If you win, you can get the dice in Spain.
Okay, battle dog name, and then we need. All right, what are our options? What are our options?
So here we go. Oh my god, I feel quite tense. So we've got Grond.
Grond, okay, Grond is good.
Lackey.
Spelled like the same spelling as my name.
Absolutely.
Yep,
well, it's
cool.
authentic.
In your
authentic
strange accent.
Sorry, hang on. Tell me how should I pronounce it?
Loki.
Locky.
Loki.
Oh,
It's a Scottish name, lad.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And that was definitely an excellent Scottish accent, and I'm sure all the Scottish viewers will agree.
J-Mac is a good accent. We'll do Lockie's accent reviews and impersonations as the next segment after the battle dog name. Okay, Grond, Lockie,
Who says this is content?
and what's next?
Bill the pony.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Gorbag.
Oh yes, that's so good.
Oh, hang on a minute. I might have lied to you. I can only do 4 options. What was the next one?
Well, there's 2 more. Scratch Shadowfax. Sorry to have posted Shadowfax, but I'm going to scratch that one.
Okay.
So the last one is Durin's Bane,
All right,
who would have Durin's Bow.
Yeah, that's true. That is good.
Okay. Can we vote? Can we do 2 rounds? Can we vote one out first?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, then we could do a head-to-head. Okay, so this is Heat A. I'm going to post Heat A. And then Heat B, and then there'll be a finale between Heat A and Heat B, and we'll pick the top 2 of each heat to face off.
Loving it. Okay, so Heat A is Grond, Lackey, Bill the Pony, and Gorbag.
Yep, that's great. Right, that is live. Get up there and vote, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god, my heart is palpitating.
We are naming your dog, who's going to be with you for 20 years of your life.
I'm gonna have to download this video afterwards so I can. So when the dog gets its own video reveal, we can show its origin story.
The origin story of X.
So how did you name your dog? Well, I was drinking cheap whiskey out of a Tupperware box, and
live on the internet, and I let some strangers decide.
Grond is in the lead. Grond's got 37%.
Yeah, as if Grond wasn't going to
That's
be in
it.
the lead.
Yeah.
Remember, it's
Grond
top two, guys. So we're looking at that.
So we've got Grond and Gorbag from this round.
I'm hurting, guys. You're wounding me. Come on, let's name Alex's dog after me.
How long's the poll open for?
I don't know. Basically, until I like the results is probably the way that we'll decide it.
I think it was. Is it not closed, or is it because I voted that it looks closed?
It's because you're voted. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It's still open. Oh, I haven't voted. I haven't voted. Hang on, I gotta vote.
You're voting for yourself.
I'm not sure. Oh, damn it, I can't vote. Because I posted it.
D-Slide says, Grond is legit a good name. Not so obviously ridiculous that you can't call it in the street, but still a good reference. I agree.
No, I want it to be so ridiculous that every time he yells out the name's dog, everyone at the dog park is like, well, that guy is a freak.
Well, if I give you my... This is my home truths. I've got a cat. And it's white head to tail, and my initial name was going to be Saruman, and I thought, I don't know, it didn't really gel. So secondly, and then it's what I really wanted to go with was TK421. If anyone doesn't know, TK421 is the stormtrooper who appears for about 20 seconds in A New Hope, disappears up the ramp of the Millennium Falcon in the Death Star, gets beaten up, and you never see them again. And
but you see his armor for quite a long time.
You do see his armor for quite a long time. And so someone says, TK41, why aren't you at your post?
Yeah.
And I thought that would be great because I got this automatic cat feeder that you record a message.
Oh, that's amazing.
Whenever it's time for the cat to have food, it plays the message to call the cat. So I was just going to record that snippet of that officer saying, TK41, why aren't you at your post?
Yeah.
And then the cat would come running to get his food.
You know what's great about my camera dying? Is it doesn't matter because Alex is there. I'll go get a new battery.
That's an amazing. Yeah,
but I'm judging by the tense you're using for this story. Oh, I see why my volume keeps going down. I keep knocking. I'm guessing you didn't do that.
No, I went with Boo in the end, named after the ghosts from Mario. And I'm not gonna lie, I've got regret. I've got regret about it.
I regret on your behalf.
I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
That's fine. Okay, right. Oh, geez, these poll results are close. All right, everyone who hasn't voted, I'm going to leave it open for another 15 seconds.
Okay, and then presumably I need 2 more debt names because I need another 4.
And then we're going to call it. Yeah, you've got to get your next 4 for heat number 2. Thank you, Kenny. Yeah, I'm onto it. Sometimes I see it before you guys do, but rarely. Let's face it. All right, let's get some more highlights into this cloak while we're waiting. Oh man, it is nice to finally see this particular cloak fixed because it has looked awful for a long time. This model is actually not one from my full roster that I took last time. but I've changed which are my first 12. I've got like 15 Royal Guard mounted for when I run 1,000 points. Because I only add a few extras and then I add captains to sort of max out that hero count. But it is nice to this guy is from the Contrast in Middle Earth How to Paint Royal Guard series, and the cloak it was just terrible. Really unhappy with it in retrospect. So it's nice to finally get some paint on this guy and get him looking schmick.
Oh, it feels good when you've got a project that's just been sitting there idle for ages.
Yeah, it is a nice.
Particularly if you've been fearing painting it, and then all of a sudden it just comes out better than you'd hoped it would.
Yeah.
I had that with. Oh no! Is this paint dead?
Oh, I forgot to close the poll. Okay, so we have a winner. It is Grond and Gorebag.
Grond and Gorebag
from heat number 1. Right, what is heat 2?
Okay, I've got my own in here, but you'll be very pleased to know it gives you a second chance of immortality.
Okay.
So we've got Durin's Bane.
Yep.
Shadowfax.
Yes. Yep.
Sharky.
Ooh. Strong.
Strong. And hashtag Zorpy. Not just Zorpy. Hashtag Zorpy.
Hashtag Zorpy dinner.
Well, you know,
I'm gonna make.
I think it would suit a dog well because they're desperate for attention. And sorry, I'm gonna.
I've slightly modified it, but you may use whichever spelling you like. It is we're gonna say this. This is how the name is spelt, but you may pronounce it hashtag Zorpy if you wish.
Lovely.
All right, the poll is up. Oh, Durin's Bane is taking a strong early lead.
Oh my god, 42%.
With hashtag Zorpbay in second place.
Guys, please don't call my dog hashtag Zorpbay.
Come on, guys, put a strong position in. It's okay. I think judging off the early, we've got 27 votes in so far. Oh man, hashtag Zorpbay is dropping behind.
Oh,
Durin's Bane is stealing. It's meant to be Durin's Bone, but you guys know the joke.
No, Durin's Bane will have Durin's Bone. Durin's Bone
yeah, good idea.
Be,
That's so good. It would have to be Durin's Bane's bone.
Yes. Whilst this is this a good time to plug my next video in response to that request?
It is indeed.
So there's a few little things coming up. If you want to see something incredibly awkward, like mind-blowingly cringe, I went to Wells recently, where they filmed Hot Fuzz, because I was painting basically the police from 40k's Necromunda, and I reenacted some of the scenes. I reenacted some of the scenes with just me there from Hot Fuzz. So like, there's a bit. If you guys might remember, there's a scene in the film where Sergeant Angel is talking to Peter Ian Staker about his missing swan and asking for a description of the swan, and they're standing in front of what looks like a bit of just a sort of church gate thing. It's actually the entrance to the cathedral grounds, which makes it basically the busiest thoroughfare in the entire town. And I set my camera up on a tripod looking in through this gate, and then I filmed both parts separately so I can merge them together, but with people just swarming around me. So when they're cut together, they're going to be like disappearing off screen, looking very oddly at me. It was so awkward. And then I also filmed the scene where Danny and Angel are standing at outside the church, and they get into a bit of an argument, and Danny runs off with his cuddly toy. And someone very sarcastically applauded me after I'd finished filming my homage to that scene. So it's going to be an awful video, and I demand you check it out.
Oh, that sounds incredible. And what are you painting? The enforcers, the Necromunda enforcers?
So I actually got the which are appropriate given what we've just been talking about. There's a Forge World kit that goes with the enforcers, which is a woman and her robo dog. I can't remember what her name is. I don't actually care. I don't care what she does in the game. I don't care what her name is or fluff is. She came with a robo dog, so I was painting her and her robo dog. Yeah, and it was on the Heatwave weekend the other week.
Oh yeah.
And so I think I was telling you, Lucky, the paint was like, it was actually really, really hard to control in that heat, painting outside. It was like drying on the brush. It was really, really difficult to actually get certainly thin layers from the palette to the to an area on the model without it just drying up on the brush. It was crazy.
Yeah. Heat.
Joys
That's
of
funny
painting
things.
outside.
My favorite Heat story is that a crying baby? No, good. Is varnish just like frosts like a bitch here in Australia all the time if you spray in the wrong conditions, particularly from humidity. It can be very
It is a good
unforgiving.
point.
So here, guys, I'm coming to my bannerman, who is a converted normal rider bannerman. I just put a little bit of a horsetail on his helmet, slung an arrow over his back, and gave him a press-molded Royal Guard shield. And he is basically base code. He used to have like no work done on him, because he was like the last thing to be painted. So I'm going to rebase coat his entire cloak in Caliban. Just a layer over the entire thing. I need to get new wet palette paper. This is the paper from our last stream, actually, so it's a bit sodden. You'll notice his horse is completely metal, because this is one of the new horses. We'll just do this backside, and then I've got my mid-tone, and I'll just come in and just wet blend that straight in over the top. And it might look contrasty right now, but once it's dry... Oh my god, man, the poll is going off. Guys, we need more votes in the poll. We need to break it up. It's 21% tied for second place.
Oh,
Don't let Zorp Bay get voted out. Don't vote for Sharky.
vote for Sharky. Vote for Sharky.
But yeah, as the wet blending dries, the sort of contrast really backs off, and they will just blend together quite nicely. As the pigments mix as it dries. So what I'll do is I'll come in with an even more extreme highlight now, and I'll just blend that into the very top. And you'll be like, oh, Lockie, it looks all streaky and crap and extreme and contrasty. It won't be, I promise. It will knock right back as it dries. I've got to do the banner as well, I suppose. Alright. Oh, man. There we go. Zorpe got a surge. Zorpe got a surge.
Oh, that's because I asked them not to. It's the worst thing I could have done.
Yep, you encouraged them. You brought this on yourself. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the final showdown.
So what we got? We got Durin's Bane, Zorp Bay, Grond, and Gorbag.
Yep. About to play Fog of War, 800 points of Theodra's Legendary Legion versus Thryden's Legendary Legion, says OT. That is a fierce showdown. I reckon the Dunland Legion is fierce in that matchup. Good luck, Rohan. Oh, wait. I need to click the poll button.
Artie, you didn't post. Did you post pictures of a game in on the Zorp on the Zorp Facebook group earlier today? Was that you?
It could be. He has an amazing series of boards in his workshop.
If that's the case, absolutely stunning. I love pictures like that. It's the favorite thing my favorite thing I see in hobby groups is, you know, two well painted armies, or just painted armies on a good looking board. Yeah, the battle looked incredible. Yeah, it looked awesome.
What Gothmog was it Gothmog? Oh no, it was Gorbag.
Hi, Sully.
Who else? I forget the first one.
Let's look. It was Durin's Bane, hashtag Zorp Bay,
Yep.
Gron, and Gorbag.
God, how can I forget Gron? That was like my.
I think Gron's a good one. Gron is a
Okay,
good one.
all right. Doggo Showdown. The final is up. Hey, Sully, how you going? All right, here we go. Let's see what the early votes are.
Gron's at 100% so far. Probably because it's my vote.
I can't even see the votes yet. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, Gron has got 54%. Zorp Bay coming
It's
in.
going to be between Gron and Zorp Bay.
Yeah.
Hashtag Zorp Bay. Sorry.
It's only 13 votes so far. 24 votes. Oh, it's swinging even more. Come on, guys, vote Zorp Bay. Vote Zorp Bay.
Gron. I tell you what, it's literally my hand is actually shaking. I'm trying to paint Padme's boots, and I filled in some of the holes I'd already washed in because my hand is shaking. I'm all in on Grond. Zorp Bay is catching up.
Is he? Oh, it is 28-47.
28-47.
We need,
yeah.
okay, there's only 32 votes in. About 100 people voted last time. We need a strong surge of Zorp Bays to keep this close, please.
See, my problem, this is the problem with the first past the post voting system. That's right, we're going there.
Yeah.
Is that, no one's got 50%, so no one is yet controlling the majority of the vote. And so, for example, if Durin's Bane and Grond are splitting votes, we need some tactical voting here to get Grond over the line, because otherwise Zorp Bay might come up even though it controls a minority of the popularity.
Okay,
simply by
here's
being
what we're
unity
going to do.
candidates.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait, hey, can you resubmit votes after you've voted?
I don't know. I don't know if
Okay.
I'm looking.
What we're going to do,
Yes, Mark.
we are going to do a new poll that is just Zorp Bay versus Grond.
That's how we do it. Anyone who gets less than 50%, the lowest candidate's knocked out.
Yep.
Zorp Bay v Grond. This is democracy in action.
We're getting the first preferences now.
Do you reckon we should Zorp, since we've become de facto leaders of our faction?
I suppose, yes. Before I click vote, we
Seconds.
each get 30 seconds to address the masses. Alex, your time starts now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm really grateful for your support, and I think that the people at home have really engaged with this issue in a way that shows how important it is to the people going forward. Grond is clearly the only candidate in this race that we can trust for a dog that is both stable and loyal, that is going to be ferocious when it needs to be, and that can open large doors unassisted. I think that what we want to do is cut out the toxic politics of the Zorp Bay group, who are trying to make this about, a personality cult. We don't want a personality cult. We want a dog that is going to serve the people going forward in a way that is reliable, faithful, and true to the cause of the people who watch YouTube wargaming.
Unfortunately, because of the well exceeding the 30-second time limit, Grond has been disqualified, and Zorp Bay is now de facto name of the dog.
I do not respect your authority to disqualify my dog name.
We'll order in the court, in the house. I mean, of the court. It's hard to follow such an incredible, forthright, and very personable campaign set of remarks from the right honourable gentleman of the Grond group, but. Unfortunately, those appeals are very sentimental, they're very meaningful, and they do resonate with us all, but they do fail to address the real facts at the heart of the issue, as we've seen long through the Zorp Bay, the Grond campaign. I can't even get what bloody person I'm supposed to be supporting. And only Zorp Bay, only the Zorp Bay Papa will bring you the clarity and the firm decision-making of intense clickbait titles for his dog food to get a really coherent and well-serving dog that's going to look after what is really a very small channel, and definitely needs quite a lot of support from a well-branded, well-targeted, and well-marketed dog. And so I think Zorp Bay, if we all agree, if we look at the cold hard facts of the situation, hashtag Zorp Bay is the only dog name to keep the Battle Camper channel from stagnating and dying an inevitable death if you choose to support Grond. So vote wisely. The vote is live.
That was a wonderful speech. I hope it doesn't work, mainly because,
Kodar says, imagine the thumbnails after naming your dog Zorp Bay.
Zorp Bay's on 100%, guys, come on. 50-50.
It's 50-50. It's 50-50. 28 votes in and it's 50-50.
That is unreal.
Oh my god. You're going to have to call it Grond Zorp Bay. 32 votes. It's still 50-50.
Oh my god. This is a nightmare. I've never felt so tense in all my life.
Oh, Grond is pulling
Grond is eating ahead. Yes, Grond.
No. Don't do it. Don't vote for the evil Grond.
Vote for Grond. Vote for Grond.
He'll be smashing down your doors next. Oh,
yeah,
we're back.
I can't promise. Yeah, we're back to 50-50. Jesus Christ.
Yes!
There's no
I have a
way
clear
to
lead. An 8% margin swing in the last 7 votes.
Guys, come on. We have to come together on this for a better future for our children. Come on.
Oh, it's close again.
49-51.
Shit.
That's right. The honourable among you, the sensible, the guys who know what the real issues are here. They're finally getting their voices heard.
Oh, it's Spectre time.
Remember, Zorp is the elite. Zorp is the elite here, and we want to take back power for those who should wield it. That's Team Grond.
Well, I think we're 48 votes in. We only got 52 on the last
Mark
vote.
says, "Think of the dog." Which is fair. I think we've lost that.
Yeah, we have lost sight of the dog. Oh no,
Right,
Grond.
we're gonna have to put a timer on this, guys. I'm setting a timer for 60 seconds, otherwise this can go on forever. Alexa, set timer for 60 seconds. Starting now, guys. You've got 60 seconds to keep 42, 48.
Grond is pulling ahead. Grond is pulling ahead.
Grond is pulling ahead. We've got a solid lead. 52 province. The UK's had a tumultuous history with 52-48 votes. So I think
it's been a 12% swing over the last 13 votes from 8% ahead to 4% behind. Think of the content. Exactly. Think of the content if your dog is named Zorpe.
Grond has got a wider appeal. I have to. No offense.
Anyone who thinks that Grond is a better name clearly thinks that Scotland is a better Middle Earth. And
I agree with that.
Oh, that just got you more votes. That didn't work. I'm disappointed that we don't have 50-50 because I wanted you to have to call it Grond Bay. That's
Grond Bay. I tell you what, I'm not totally opposed to Grond Bay.
Oh man, you're pulling ahead. I don't think I can pull this back. There's only 73
Alexa,
people watching. We've got 56
How long
votes.
left on the timer? Less than 10 seconds, guys.
Less than 10 seconds. Every other viewer,
every
other concurrent viewer, swing
done.
it now. Zorpe, swing it back. Come on, guys.
Sorry, the time is done. The time is done.
All right, we're calling it.
Alexa,
I'm clicking
stop.
end. I'm clicking end poll.
Yes. Well done, everyone.
I'm about to click
Grond
end
the
poll.
dog.
I'm clicking
have
it.
Grond the
I'm
dog.
clicking end poll right now.
Hey,
I'm about to. Can you guys fucking vote? Oh, damn it! It went worse for me. It swung harder.
trying to cheat me out of Grond.
All right.
50, 54.
Fine. Don't call your dog Zorpe. I guess you can call it Grond.
Oh, that was fantastic. I tell you what, I promise, as a consolation prize to my noble and valiant opponent who ran a clean campaign, I will get my dog a little jacket that says #Zorpe on it with your logo, and I will make sure
that could be his slogan.
Exactly, it will appear on camera often wearing the Zorpe jacket.
His campaign slogan.
That was more tense than Brexit.
And I think it had more of a lasting impact upon the economy.
Agreed. Yeah, 100%. We're at that very dangerous territory here. I think we swing back to more dogs and hobby. Right, after all excitement, I need to go and use the bathroom, I'm afraid. So I'm going to
Agrax Earthshade, hobby bingo, everyone. Oh, I just realized I'm painting and it's still on my face. All right, you go use the Agrax Earthshade.
I'm doing it. I've actually got. I'm going to turn my microphone down because I've been told previously that people can hear it on stream. So on stream.
We don't need that. All right, Alex is gone. I'm very disappointed in all of you who voted for Grond. I will find the forgiveness in my heart one day, but it's too raw at the moment. Okay, so I'm just finishing off this banner guy. I'm just doing one. As I said, it looked super contrasty, but once it dried, it went really chill. That's how the wet blending works. It's really nice. So I'm doing another pass here just to up that contrast once again. It's probably a little bit sloppy if I'm being honest. Will you still put Grimbold memes into Gondor? It will happen, I promise. There's lots of Gondor left to do. Lots of Gondor left to do. Tab 100, nice to see you back. Haven't seen you in ages. Haven't streamed in ages, which is probably a large portion of why. Now this is a tricky banner to highlight. I'm going to get some water on my brush here and really thin out these highlights. Let's see if I can get this right on camera for you guys. I'll go right into 35. Trying to get the right highlight spots here is really tricky. I'm just going to sort of gently kind of fill in some of those raised areas. And again, this is going to look really blocky on camera, but that's super thin. We'll see what it looks like once it dries. always paint back over it, but I'm essentially building like a little profile of lighter green which I can work into. Really, really thin, remember. We'll see what it looks like. I'll try and get a little bit of green into there as well. I can hear you again.
Yeah, I'm back.
I can hear me too.
Oh, sorry.
That's alright. It's gone now. It was just on the connection moment.
Okay, great, cool.
Another thin pass on my cloak here. Slowly building up the highlights. Oh, this guy's got... Oh, he's got green down the bottom of his shield. Oh yeah, I see. Put in a few little wood grain lines with the green. Okay, is that all the greens done? I'll check on that cloak again in a sec. I think that might be all of the greens fixed. Yeah, it is. This guy's fixed, isn't he? Yeah, I remember doing him. And then I also have these... Oh, wait, hang on. I've got guys over here. Ah, damn it. These guys looking pretty good, Nick, but they need a little work. Oh, yeah, he looks fantastic. Oh, God, this guy... This guy's full of static grass. We'll fix him. Okay, 2 to go. I got way too excited. Yes, I've only done 4, 8... Wait a minute. Yep, 4, 8, 12. I've got 2 left. 2 left and then we're off the cloaks. Lockie is quite hard to hear. Thank you, guys. I don't know what's going on, but I keep... somehow the volume keeps knocking... Oh!
You're knocking the switch again.
No, every time I move it, it's like auto-defaulting to the lower volume.
That's weird.
Hang on a second. Okay, guys, what... Can you hear that now? Let's see. I think what happened was... so I've got a... Can you guys hear me now? No, it's doing it again.
Doing it again, yeah.
This is very strange. Okay. I bet you it sounds good. Yeah, and then it drops straight back off. That is fascinating.
What's happening? That's weird.
Hang on a second.
"26 new subscribers," says Tab100 on Battle Camper. That's a look. Oh, that's incredible. Sincerely, thank you very much, everyone. That's
okay.
That's awesome.
I think I defeated my dodgy mic problem, guys. Does that sound better? No. So essentially, I've got a touch screen on my microphone. Yeah, I can just show you guys. So these little dots here on the microphone, they're my touch screen. So that's down, and that's up. But it kept randomly jumping back to 4 dots, even after I'd set it to 6 dots. No idea why that was happening. Just some sort of firmware glitch, I think. I turned it off and on again.
Classic.
It didn't fix it. It lied. I'm gonna fight this microphone. I should be super loud right now. Yeah, there's some sort of auto leveling is happening. I'll see if I can just boost my volume inside OBS. No, I'm on maximum. I don't know. It's sitting on the right volume now. Just yell out in chat if it goes down again, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hey, Dirk's in. Hey, Dirk, how you going, dude? Dirk Siepenkotter. Alex should go to the office where they filmed the IT crowd and experienced technical difficulties.
Yes, I'm into it. Yeah, I'll try and keep you right as well, because I wasn't because you come out quite loud for me, but every now and again I am now noticing the sort of drop in volume, so I will keep an eye out for an in and out.
Oh yeah, of course,
because if it drops.
That same volume control affects how I sound to you. All right, so I've got 2 guys left. Let's get some green down. I'm gonna be done with green cloaks in a minute. I also what is the time? Oh man, it's already 11:30. Well, I'm supposed to be joining Ollie and Kira's stream, but okay. I'm very tired.
11:30 in the evening, I assume. I've got no idea how your time works.
It is 11:30 in the evening, yeah.
Okay. Hence why
now I've gotten super loud. Oh. Lovely to have you here, Dirk. It's been a while since we had some regular streaming action. It's nice to have it back. I'm gonna do a poll, everyone, on the community Facebook group about what time is best for streaming, because this is like an amazing time for me, and I thought that this was not a good time for everyone in the UK when I first set up the streams, and apparently, according to the response, it's quite a good time.
Yeah, it's a great time for me. I'm usually watching while drifting off to sleep. I've got just sort of my phone in my hands, and I watch for as long until my hands get pins and needles, and then I have to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But this, midday on a Sunday is when I'm usually painting your stuff anyway, so it's an excellent time for me.
Well, that's good enough. Everyone, it's changing to this. No, I'll just keep doing. I'll keep doing a mix. I think I'll basically do like stuff in the evenings that's more relaxed. That's like my sort of stuff. And then maybe the more formal stuff will be at that normal time slot. But also, I don't know, I'll probably just mix it up lots and lots.
That's cool.
I just really missed it when I wasn't doing it. It's just been so crazy here lately. I haven't had the capacity, and the studio's been an absolute bomb site with all the different projects that have been happening. So it just wasn't possible for a bit. And we're about to move to New Zealand as well. So there'll be another break soon too when we go away for 2 or 3 weeks. But in contrast to that, I'll be probably doing some Instagram stories when I'm in Lord of the Rings locations when we're nearby them and stuff. We'll see. Fellow Australian, this is a much better time for me. Oh yeah, I mean, it's absolutely useless for the Australians and the New Zealanders, the Monday morning time. Because no one else is able to, just like watch when they're at work. Very few people. Kenny watches when he's at work. Just like, slaps it on when he's in meetings and stuff.
Oh, that sounds like a plan.
But that's definitely not a comment. Okay, that's one cloak left to go, and this cloak is very, very much started. Yeah, this cloak I would say is pretty much done, actually.
So you're painting up for a particular event with this army?
Yeah, so it'll be that my return to tournaments. So I haven't actually been to I haven't played... I have played one game of SBG, apart from stuff for the channel, in 2 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And what have you got booked in? What's arranged?
It is the return to my favourite tournament in the world, which is the New Zealand League Final. Which is in Christchurch this year, and I will live there, so there will no way shut borders will be able to keep me out.
That's presumably what kept you out last time.
Yeah, and also, COVID and everything, and just the kids and life, and I basically haven't had time to go to... I can't go to tournaments unless it's for work. And in Australia, I can't really turn going to a tournament into a video, whereas in New Zealand, that's much more likely, so I can find a way to make an angle for a video.
Why can't you do it in Australia? Because it's just not an angle for it.
Yeah,
oh, he's gone.
Hang on, I'm coming back. I'm just getting another brush. Oh wow, that brush is not being washed up. Sorry, I was just reaching back to the tool shed. It's just like there's not enough of a hook for it to be a video. I can't really just do like tournament vlogs anymore. It doesn't really fit. Like I can barely get away with doing battle reports on the main channel.
Yeah.
Because most of my viewers are like the scenery-driven viewers now, which is sort of like of my own making, because that's what was doing well, so that's what I was focusing on, and also because of COVID, it was all I could make for a good while. So now, when I upload battle reports, a lot of my audience aren't battle report viewers, which is part of the reason why Heresy is struggling, among other things. And so the battle reports don't do anywhere near as well as they used to, whereas they used to be like my biggest content.
It's weird as well. I guess it's for me. Obviously, this is not my job. With a surprise, with 800 subscribers.
Yeah.
But I mean, I find it's not even just whether or not you're going to get it's going to be productive for the channel. Tournament reports take so long to edit. They're such an investment in time. And I remember I did one a few weeks ago that's not uploaded yet. It was a 40k one. It's the first time I've ever been to a 40k event in about a decade.
Yeah, wow.
And it's the first time I've ever played this edition of 40k. And so the idea is, we were seeing if, because there's so much negativity about the game online, I wanted to see whether or not it was it seeped into my psyche, whether or not I actually still enjoyed the game, or whether or not I just kind of felt negative about it because the community was being more negative, at least by comparison to like SPG, for example.
Yeah.
And started filming, and it was this doubles event, and I brought my dice tray, and I had the camera pointing at the dice tray, and I just said to these players who were very happy to film, I said, do you mind making sure we film everything, do all the dice rolls in the tray so that the camera picks them up? They're like, yeah, it's fine. And of course, everyone immediately forgot. And after a while, it felt rude to be reminding people that every time they rolled off camera, I was just like, oh, that's another thing that I can't grab for the narrative.
Yeah.
And when there's like critical rolls, when there's like, an armor save for your leader and it's going to be worth a bunch of points, or a fight that's been going on for a long time and it's kind of getting to crunch point, it's very, very unsatisfying to have to narrate that to the viewer. You want them to be able to just, show, don't tell. And so it caused me physical pain when people weren't like rolling on camera, knowing that I'm going to have to still sit and spend about 100 hours editing this video that's probably not going to come out that great.
Yeah, it's tough.
And obviously so if I play anyone in chat in future, roll on the goddamn camera. You will roll where I tell you to roll. Sorry, that's obviously been on my chest for a while.
You may unload on my chat. It's fine. That's what they're here for. They're my emotional support. They can be yours too for the evening.
I'm very grateful for that.
I can't even imagine how long those tournament vids take to edit, says J-Max. Peter K says, I love all the content you do. Thanks, Pete. Thanks for tuning in, Marky. We'll see you next time. Mark says, I have to go. I don't know how you'll get the dice to me, but honestly, dogs and cats are the best. I don't mind as long as it gets a good home. Mark must be claiming the credit for Grond. He must be the Grond.
Mark, you got the dice, Mark. Excellent.
Yeah.
Mark, before you go, if you're still here, just I don't know how do we contact each other through YouTube? There's no DM. Go to Twitter. Go to my Twitter.
Or just send him an email. Send me an email. Yeah, my email address is thebattlecamper@gmail.com. And we'll arrange to get them sent out. Yeah. Otherwise, I can. If Mark has gone next time, Mark's a regular, so I'll just remind him next time he's on the chat, or I'll just get him to. Or
you'll set up an email address under his name and email me.
That's right, and then I'll finally get some fucking dice. I'll impersonate my own audience to secure some dice. I'm not sure if Marky Hansen's on the Discord. I can't remember. I'll search. It's just because everyone has different YouTube usernames and Discord names, which is... I wish there was a way to like link them so that I could like see my... Yeah, anyway. That's the good thing about being a YouTube channel member, which I've now set up.
Oh, here comes the plug.
Yeah, I mean, if people don't like Patreon but want the same effect... Oh, there we go. Mark is sending an email. Say your email again, Alex.
Thank you very much. Thebattlecamper@gmail.com.
That is all the greens done. But yeah, we have YouTube channel members activated, which I never bothered with. And then Ollie was like, just set it up, you idiot. Some people don't like Patreon. But I just have the exact same thing set up for Patreon that I do for the YouTube channel member system. Except this way, the Discord username matches their YouTube username. And it also means they get little badges next to their name in YouTube live streams and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
But aside from that, it has all the same rewards as the Patreon. I am loving these greens. All the greens are finally fixed. I might just give you guys a little show and tell for a bit. So this is all the green cloaks finished. That one's not the nicest, but it's not too bad. This one looks really bloody nice, but it might not show up that well on camera because it's a lot more subtle. I also don't mind if there's a bit of variation because, you know, the cloths of different level of wear and tear. Yeah,
that was looking really nice.
That looks so good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go... my next step for painting is to go sort of one by one, model by model. And then if there's like because I don't think there's actually any big problem areas that are affected across every model like it was with the greens. So now my job would be to go one at a time, model by model by model, and sort of just paint it till it's finished, then move on to the next model, apart from the 3 horses. So I've got 3 horses that are completely unpainted. which are these 3 here. I'll pull them onto camera so you guys can see. So there's the 3 silver horses here. 1, 2, 3, and then there's this other horse which has come from a second-hand paint job. So this is not actually my paint job. So he's going to need... I'm not going to bother stripping him. I'm just going to repaint him. So I'll use the brown that's there as a base coat. It's a bit thickly applied, but it's fine. And then I just need to change some of that to silver, change the tassels, change the leather armor on the front. It won't be too much work. Oh, and there's a couple of other horse details I need to fix as well. Because when I magnetize these Royal Guard to the metal cataphracts, you have to file off the little buckle that sits at the back, so I just need to paint that to strapping on a few more of these guys that are recent. So that is... I'll probably won't do that next. I'll probably get the first 8 completely finished, and then I can say that 8 Royal Guard are like table ready, and then finish all my heroes, and then I'll come back and do those 4 Royal Guard at the very end. And then, basically what I'm doing at the moment is I'm focusing on painting the models that are in both lists. So that's all the Royal Guard feature in both lists, and a lot of the heroes do, but most of the heroes are finished anyway. Like Gamling, for instance, Sternhelm, Aemir, or Aemir actually gets dropped from one list to the next. Aemir doesn't get taken in the Aragorn list. Aragorn, essentially, you drop Aragorn and you drop Daewine and you get Aemir instead. And then you also get Forlong instead of Elfhelm. So it'll be I'm focusing on the Royal Guard first, and then some of the heroes, and then I won't bother painting stuff like Aragorn until I know that that's what I'm actually taking, because he's only in obviously Aragorn's only in one of the lists. And luckily, I already have my Outriders based and finished from my Earl Legendary Legion models. 8 Royal Guard ready to get impaled and die horribly. Well, there's 12 of them, actually, so there's 12. I haven't decided which list I'm going to take Kota. I'm basically... I'm going to paint the Riders of Theoden until it's completely finished, and then, depending on how much time I have left and how much I really want to, and how many streams I want to do, I might do the 12, the extra characters. So, because there's still a fair bit left. The Royal Guard all come, but I need to finish Aragorn. Foot and Mounted is currently unpainted. I need to finish Grimbold's dad, Forbold, which is his name. Yeah, because it's like a cross between Forlong and Grimbold. It's all coming back to me now. So his horse is done, but his foot and mounted sculpt needs to be done. And then I need to finish the foot of the Citadel Guard, and then Gamling, but that's with both. So there's sort of like maybe 5 models that still need to be done for Host of Thengel that aren't in Riders of Theoden. So we'll just wait and see. We'll just wait and see. I have a feeling I'm going to take Host of Thengel because it's just so different. New Zealand, the New Zealand scene are going to be like, Lockie, what the fuck are you doing? Which I quite like. I quite like that. Thanks so much for watching, Sasquatch. We'll see you next time. It is going to be good fun. Good fun.
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it's 800 points. I don't know the tournament format yet. It's usually 6 games across 2 days, 4 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. What's your favorite point size to play, Alex?
I actually really like 800. 800 is nice because you can finish your games in a length of time that doesn't feel like a drag, and you also get to play around with your list and fit a lot of stuff in. I mean, I think obviously it does kind of depend army to army. Like Rohan, I really like 800 because
you get all the toys,
everything I want in. Yeah, you get all the toys. And I think probably for a slower player like me at my stage, it doesn't take you too long to get everything moved, to get everything into position. And so the games are a little bit less stressful. Like, the first time I ever went to a tournament, I kind of purposely took Ents because it's like, well, I'm going to be very slow, but I've got 6 models, so my turns will still be quicker than my opponents.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did the same thing with Trolls.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it.
My first tournament list when I was like going to tournaments, which was actually, well, I guess in recent times, the first tournaments I went to was 2017. So I was playing the game for years without actually competing. Thanks so much for watching, Peter. We'll see you next time, mate. And I took my 750 points. I took the Black Marshal, the Dark Marshal on Fellbeast, the Mouth of Sauron on Armored Horse. Oh, actually, or was I running the Shadow Lord at that point? Anyway, a Wraith on Fellbeast, and then the Mouth of Sauron, and then a Troll Chieftain and 4 Trolls. That was my whole list. I came third. It was great.
That's pretty good.
Well, that was Hobbit edition, right? So the named wraiths were ridiculous. You didn't have to spend will points to turn the Dark Marshal's banner on. He was just a 6-inch banner all the time. And of course, brutal power attacks were mental. So Hurl was insane. You were just picking up models and throwing them like 2d6 inches and just killing everything. And you could, I don't know, when did you start? Did you play during the Hobbit edition, Alex?
No, never.
So now, with Hurl, you have to line up, like you literally can only hurl in a straight line directly drawn through the 2 bases, right? So you have to make sure your troll or your monster is in the right position to pick up the model and throw it where you want. In the Hobbit edition, you could just pick it up and then just throw it anywhere. In any direction from like 180 degrees facing forwards. You could just chuck it in combat, and if you decided to hurl, you could just like point it in any direction to get the perfect hurl line. Hurl is now basically punch slap one model and he goes backwards. Yeah. It was absolutely gnarly. Simon Mostyn says, Lockie, did that list include Clubby? Yes, it did. Clubby the Troll. That was the tournament that Clubby was finished for. Well, sort of. I finished painting him for that, but I originally sculpted him up for the Osgiliath campaign. I like 800 points. I do enjoy playing, but if I'm running a really aggressive competitive tournament, I find 750 is actually better because the games are slightly shorter, or they're not slightly shorter, but because there's less on the board, it means players can take a little bit longer focusing on their tactics whilst playing the same game. But also at 750, you just have to make a few more choices, and everything's just that little bit more important. But so that's why Ardor Unleashed, my big tournament that I sometimes run, is 750. But when I'm playing a game, I really appreciate 800 points. I really enjoy it. But I really love 200, 300, 450, and 600. I will literally play anything, which I know makes particular friends of mine who like, in their spare time writing rules for the Middle Earth strategy battle game, makes them vomit. I love the small points games. I love them.
Yeah, I played a few 300, and that was a lot of fun.
It's so much fun.
I like how much everything hurts. Like,
losing. It's so bad.
You're sort of screening your characters. It's like, I've got to, in a bigger game, you do it because that's kind of what they're there for. Sometimes at least a certain percentage, you think, well, they're going to get killed, certain armies, but that's what their job is. Yeah. Whereas, you lose a rider in 300 points, even to save a character, and it's just so painful.
I particularly love 300 to 450 points because Aeol the Young is playable. At 600 points, at even 500 points, Aeol is basically not takeable because the tax of losing every other Rohan hero is way too gnarly. And you can sort of write like semi-decent 750, 800 point lists that ally in Gondor, where you've got Aeol and like one warband of Rohan with like a king of the man. And you can make, luckily SBG is so tabletop generalship weighted that list building is far less important. So you can still have a perfectly playable game and win games, but if you're like trying to make like a really competitive list, Aeol the Young is never your choice for Rohan, but I love him. I love his profile, and at 450 points and at 300 points, he is ridiculous. He is so good. I love him.
That's a good hint. Thank you.
I love him to pieces. He's good fun. So my 300 point list is Aeol and like a decked out warband, and then my evil list for 300 points is low spec Witch King and a Barrow Wight and just Angmar filth. It's beautiful.
So that's a question. Do you often come across tournaments where, or when you run tournaments, do you have evil and good. Like people take evil and good lists.
We don't
Because-
do it. Well, I don't run. Technically, I don't run a scene anymore because I no longer run Queensland as I'm moving. I've handed that off at the start of this year. But yeah, so I would say like 1 to 2 tournaments a year out of our like 8 to 10 tournaments will be a good and evil, where you have to bring 2 lists. And we usually make them smaller point sizes because a lot of, we used to anyway, when the scene was pretty young. It's because players were younger and it was just too hard for most people to get 2 armies together. So that was why our 300 pointer always used to be our good and evil, where you'd bring 300 points of good and 300 points of evil, and you'd only ever play green on blue. You wouldn't play blue on blue or green on green.
Yeah, that's cool. Because I've not. I thought that was like sort of a default thing before I played in any tournaments.
It used to be. So like in like 2014, 2015. The only way the game was and earlier, much earlier, the only way the game was played was good versus evil. So all of the Games Workshop tournaments, like the original Throne of Skulls and stuff at Warhammer World, were only ever good versus evil. I'm fairly certain. And then the concept sort of happened in like the Hobbit era and late Hobbit era of like playing anything, and it's much better now, I think. I love good versus evil though. They're really fun tournaments because I love bringing 2 enemies and only playing good versus evil. It's quite fun, but it's all fun.
Okay, yeah,
I just like variety. Variety's the best. That's what you want in a tournament calendar. You want every calendar to feel different, every event to feel different.
Yeah, I think that's true. Sorry, Simon says, has anyone done a 3-way battle using White Dwarf rules? I ran one a fortnight ago at 500 points and it took 5 bloody hours.
Wow, that's fierce.
Yeah, I've not done one with the White Dwarf rules. We've tried to fudge it because I didn't realize there were White Dwarf rules for multiplayer battles.
Yeah, they came out like about a year ago, I think.
Okay, and have you tried them? How do they work?
Never tried
Or
them.
Simon?
Haven't even read them. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. There's basically, I've got a core group of 3 people who we play a lot, particularly when we're trying a new game. And a lot of time we're like, well, we'll do two people play and then winner stays on. And obviously it takes us so long to play that one person basically just doesn't get a game in that day. So when we can find good, workable 3-player games, even if it's just for a bit of fun, I think that's it's always a big bonus for us. So if anyone can give us a review of the White Dwarf rules or any other rule sets, custom or whatever, that have worked with 3 players, then let us know in chat.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Marky Tribe's in the chat. Good evening, Mark. He has said that he loves good and evil, and he does. Marky and I... actually, Mark, we played in that 300-point good versus evil, didn't we? The first one? Oh, and we played in the second one. Yeah, Marky and I had... So, Mark and I did... what was he running? I can't remember in the 300-pointer, but we did a 200-point good versus evil. And I took Hobbits and Angmar, and my Hobbits faced off against Mark's... Oh, what did you run in that tournament, Mark? I can't even remember. Was it your Isengard, your Scouts, maybe? Anyway, and he says... what did he say? He says, I love to spice things up. The old smash and bash gets old. Yeah, I think that's one of the strengths of the Middle Earth community, is that in most places... particularly Australia and New Zealand, every single tournament is completely different. So New Zealand's the same, Australia's the same. New Zealand have one tournament a month, and all up and down the country, and every event is different, from like massive 1,000-point doubles to like tiny 200-point mini wars, or what do they call it? Tiny wars, mini tiny something. And Australia and New Zealand are very much the same in that we run heaps of really, really varied calendar. And I used to get players joining the Queensland League and the Australian League, and they'd be coming from 40k or Star Wars Legion, and they'd be complaining to me, how am I supposed to like get good at using one list when the event changes every time? And it's like, that's not what matters here, man. Just bring something different every single time and come and have fun. It's not about chasing the 1,000 or 1,500 or 1,750 point meta. Just come and bring your favorite models from the movies and adjust up and down and enjoy that challenge of adjusting up and down. Little Wars, thank you. Thanks, Mikey. Couldn't remember. Little Wars. Yeah, Marky remembered too.
Vander Stormhammer says, I tried the 3-way but bent a bit for a 4-way Royal Rumble. It was insane. Took from 3 p.m. till 11. It was nuts. We also had
Was it
supper
worth
breaks.
it?
Supper breaks are good. You got to have your supper breaks.
So that's what bums me out. I think about some of the systems. I'm not going to name the systems, but one of the things that got me about Middle Earth, particularly when I first started, was that the competitive missions are still there's no default format. They're all very different.
Yes.
They tend to have an interesting, like they're seize the prize or reconnoiter. They're all it's something quite straightforward and simple, but that can make the game play incredibly differently. If you play another system where basically every single mission, particularly the competitive missions, are just a variation on like hold 6 objectives, either more or less as the game goes on, it makes 3 games in a day feel quite stale. Whereas like Middle Earth, 3 games in a day doesn't feel stale at all. It feels quite fresh because you're doing some very different things. And the one thing I hate, I'm going to vent a pet hate. So apologies in chat if anyone does this, but perhaps you can share if you also get frustrated by this. Is whenever I give that opinion or any opinion about tournament scene, particularly in the larger games, people say to me, well, just don't play tournaments then, just play friendlies. And it's such an unsatisfying solution, because when you don't have a particularly active like friendship group who plays these games often,
you have to go to
or
tournaments.
when you really enjoy the social aspects of tournaments, I love the social aspects of tournaments. You go to every Middle Earth tournament I've been to in the last couple of years, they've always had a big night out on the main evening. They've always had lunches where people gather and chat about the game of lunches. You always meet new people. I've always come back with new friends on Facebook and stuff, people who I still talk to today, because that's the most intense social moments of like wargaming. And so to say that you don't get to have an opinion on the tournament scene unless you like it as it is, or unless you want to go and win, I think is basically trying to deny a lot of people an amazing part of the hobby for reasons other than testing out meta lists and going and trying to win the games.
In many communities, the community is the tournament scene. Like in Australia, we basically don't have social gaming. We just meet up for events. So that means that like you can't to be like, we'll just go play social games. That doesn't happen for us. A lot of people live really far away. We're quite a so people often only come together for tournaments. So the whole like, well, the only people who should be playing tournaments is competitive players thing. It doesn't that whole sentiment just takes on water straight away when you look beyond like certain communities. So I've had that argument with people before where they're sort of going on about a particular thing, and it's like, well, if you think that's a problem, you shouldn't be playing tournaments. And it's like, that's not how it works, mate.
No, yeah, exactly. And also, I suppose the bottom line is you don't get to define how they should be. No one does. And that's I suppose what you want is a scene, like you said, where every game is slightly different, because some tournaments aren't going to appeal. What I really appreciate here, and I don't know if it's the same over there, but TOs here typically put in the description whether or not they feel it's going to be a particularly casual event or a particularly competitive event. Yeah, and so, particularly if you've got limited time, you can pick and choose. And I tend to go to those that sit somewhere in the middle, because it's fun to try and win the games. And I don't want anyone to feel guilty for bringing competitive lists if they want to go for the win, because that's part of the fun. But that's, not my priority. So it's kind of interesting to sit somewhere in the middle. But then, of course, we get things like Seven Stones, which is completely at one end.
Seven Stones is probably... I haven't been... Which, oh my god, man. So when I was in the UK, I landed on, I don't know, Monday, and Seven Stones finished on Sunday. And I didn't find that out until the Friday before I left. Damien was like, dude, are you coming to the UK? Are you coming to Seven Stones? Like, you haven't bought a ticket. And I was like, isn't that in like 4 weeks, like way after I leave? And he's like, no, it's this weekend. And I was livid, man, because I could have easily just come for 2 extra days and gone to Seven Stones.
Oh, that does suck. That really does suck.
I was sad.
It would have been obviously awesome to see you there.
I was sad.
Yeah. Next year, hopefully. I suppose the problem is though that was quite a convenient reason, because you weren't paying for your own plane tickets.
Well, hopefully that happens again next year. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm a bit off mic.
Yeah, we can hear you. Well, I can hear you.
Hopefully that happens again next year with whatever the next box set is, and if Games Workshop feel that they got enough out of flying us over there and that it was worthwhile. Man, I did not. I had one glass of whiskey. I did not think it affected me at all, and I just like moved my chair to go over to my paint tray and nearly fell off my chair. This is highly embarrassing.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Mate.
Yeah, you go. I'm just.
No. I don't mean to interrupt.
I'm just a lightweight. That's all I'm whinging about right now. But yeah, hopefully GW want to fly me back over again, and then I can, if Seven Stones lands on the same time, I can get there because I've been trying to get there for so long. Me and my mate Andrew from the Beard Clipper YouTube channel have been planning like to go as a doubles team for like 4 years or something. It just hasn't happened.
Well, I'll have a chat with them if you want, because I'm kind of a big deal. So.
Okay, good. That'd be great. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Michael says, sorry, Mikhail, if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Says, sounds fun for you. In Poland, every tournament is strictly competitive, and most players are try hard. That sounds bleak, mate. That sounds really bleak.
I have heard that about Poland, that there isn't really a kind of narrative or relaxed or casual scene. Tournaments are like hardcore.
Interesting. I wonder why that is. It's strange how these kind of cultures develop between countries out of the same books, the same minis, the same games.
Yeah, so many different socio-cultural factors there.
Yeah. Interesting. What about anyone? As a fellow chronic brush licker, who else is getting into oil paints and thinners? Any advice on not poisoning myself?
Yeah, man, just like, yeah, you got to be careful. Hey, I've done it. I've licked oil thinner before and like nearly vomited. It's not nice.
Oh Christ! I don't know whether I could be trusted. It's second nature now.
Yeah, I use very different brushes when I'm painting with oils a lot of the time, so that helps. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm doing my 1x1 theory. So I am going to rule this guy as completely finished. What do you guys think, chat? Is there any other stuff that needs to be done to this guy? He looks pretty good. I could probably highlight the gold again, but I think that very high level of detail might be passed on to a final pass when the army is like ready to go. There's too much else important to do. Oh wow, Vandus says here in Portugal it's 90% narrative. I've played all the scenarios for The Hobbit with 1.5 years, 3 buddies with 3 buddies was insane with all the picks. Oh, actually, what about the shaft of the spear? Oh no, that's good. It was just a shiny bit of glue. So that is looking pretty good. That is one guy completely finished.
That looks stunning. It's really, really good.
God, it's 12.
When do you think you need to go?
Well, if I'm gonna go and stream with Ollie, I need to go. But I'm also absolutely trash, and I have to be up early to wake up the kids. Plus I have to wrap Larissa's birthday present. I would say the likelihood of me making it to Ollie's stream this evening is minimal, which means I might just chip away on a few more things. And then suddenly I will have been painting for an hour, and I should have just gone and got on their stream. I can just stream with them next week.
I mean, whoever. I was going to say this to you earlier off chat, but it's something nice. So I'll say it on chat, which is that I don't know how you juggle children and hobby is remarkable, to be honest.
Well, I don't, right? It's impossible as far as I'm concerned. The only reason I get any quote-unquote hobby done is because it's my job. And that's like part of what motivated me to like try and make this work, is because I saw the end of my hobby. It's only the early years, right? The early years are insanely time intense. So as the kids get older, more personal hobby time will be possible again. But when you've got 2 young kids, there is no time for like personal hobby. So I'm just lucky that like it's my job. So otherwise, like I'm only painting now because I'm streaming. Otherwise, I wouldn't get to paint my own armies. You know that.
You do see people make it work though. I mean, I wonder whether anyone has anyone got kids and still manages to find like young children still manages to do the hobby.
Yeah, I suppose I shouldn't use such blanket generalizations. I mean, in the context of my exact life. I work like 85-hour weeks on Zorpazorp, so it's like there's just not much time.
So it sounds like maybe you don't give yourself enough credit, because you say like, you know, I have quite a busy job, but I don't tend to work that many hours in a week. So, you know, you're like, but it's just...
I don't think it's... I would say the amount that I work is definitely unsustainable and, like, detrimental to my long-term health. So, it's probably not something to be commended, and definitely something I need to find a better balance for once we kind of
That's
move and get through this year. But yeah, it's too much. It's taken a toll for sure.
J-Mac, yes, Bucky absolutely counts.
That's
Kenneth says-
that's the rabbit, isn't it?
That's the rabbit, I assume. Yeah.
yeah.
Kenneth says, hobby time has been dramatically cut back. I have 2 young children. But it sounds like, Kenneth, you still get a bit of time to keep it ticking over. I guess that's something, isn't it? Like, when my job's very, very up and down. Sometimes I'm doing, working strictly 9 to 5 and it's great, actually just doing my hours. Sometimes it's, I'm not, like there was the other week, Saturday through to the next Sunday, there wasn't a time I was either not either sleeping, eating, or working. Those were the 3 things that I did. But I found, even if you're finishing at like 11:30, 12 o'clock, getting just a couple of brush strokes down before you go to bed, just, nothing, not even finishing 1 layer on 1 model, but just getting some strokes down. It's just, it at least makes it feel like you're keeping things ticking over.
Were you giggling at what I think you were giggling at?
No, mate, you can't prove anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting some strokes down. Children watching.
It helps you switch off at night.
Yeah.
It really helps you get. Yeah,
or
exactly.
Getting some strokes down.
Yeah, okay, so get a couple of strokes in, and then just before bed, I think it's a really helpful way of switching off.
Getting a few strokes in, and then getting a few strokes down.
Yeah. Good. I feel like we're taking a bit of a nosedive in the highbrow department, but
yeah,
I'm into it. I feel I can dig it.
All right, I've got 2 guys that I'm considering fully painted now, which is exciting.
Stroke after work. Maybe 2 hours before bed. So that's still pretty impressive. If you got presuming the kids go to bed before you, and then that's the time when you try it. You've got like, right, it's now or never. I'm obviously speaking as someone without children, so I've learned everything about children from sitcoms.
No, but that's definitely the way to do it. But like for me at the moment is I get up at, say, if I'm functioning, I get up at like 8 or 7, and then I'll work till 5, and then I'm with the kids parenting until they go to bed at about they're sort of in bed at 8:30, and then I'll work from 8:30 till like 12 or 1, and then I'll go to sleep. And so that's too much.
Yeah.
What I need to do is go to bed earlier and get up earlier and have a bigger work day that's like 6 till 5, and then not go back to work at all at night. So I'm only doing like 11-hour or 12-hour work days, and then in the evenings I'm just like chilling out and then sleeping.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's just too many deadlines.
I know.
But they're always there. They're always there. So like, when do you stop? Man, this guy looks bloody amazing. I think I'm ruling this guy off as finished as well. I don't think I need to touch him at all. Oh, it's amazing just fixing these cloaks, and we fixed the metallics on the last stream. That is 4 riders completely finished. Now we've got heaps of people still tuning in. 66 people watching from now.
Oh, wonderful.
I would say this time slot is definitely at least as successful as the last one, so that's cool.
And this far in, I'm less bricking it, so
Doing well. I would say this guy has got like a weird glossy sheen in the metallics, so I'm gonna unfortunately say that I think that might need another varnish, but he is also completely painted.
Do you hand paint your matte varnish, or do you?
No, I usually use aerosols, but I'll probably hand paint. Now this guy, looking good, but his silvers need a little bit of a highlight. So I've already got some silver here on the palette. I am going to just touch up his little helmet here. Such a satisfying sound. Such a satisfying sound. Beat the devil out of it, as Bob would say.
What? Oh, is that the paintbrush washing?
Yeah.
Apologies if that's coming through like loud and clear.
No, that's fine.
I use this was this is only the nichest of niche Battle Camper fans, which is potentially you, and maybe not even that.
Oh, I know what you're about to bring up already.
My obsession with using chewing gum pots.
Yes,
as,
yeah,
water
I
pots.
knew it.
They are fantastic. Anyone, particularly if you're painting out and about. So this is actually this. I'm going into it, by the way. So this is what I'm using at the moment, and this is actually the less good of the two designs. This is the new extra gum pot. If you can get the old one, where it comes in at the top and the lid is smaller than the body of the pot, it's even better because it's almost impossible to get splashback when you're washing your brushes. And the seal is so tight, I can fill that with water, whack it in a backpack, and go hiking or whatever. And that did Ben Nevis with one of these full of water. No, I didn't, because I forgot my water. I left it at home and then had to wash my brushes in my drinking water. But usually, and no leakage at all. They're perfect. They're great. That's my that's my biggest contribution to hobby so far, I think, is recognizing the vital importance of using chewing gum pots as water pots.
They are good. They are good. We will need a great deal many of them on the trip that we're not discussing.
Not discussing, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't worry, no one watches the streams. Oh, fucking, dude, Michael, it's like fucking it's nearly 4 a.m. in New Zealand. Go to sleep. He lives in Auckland, I'm pretty sure.
Who's this?
Michael, that's Buck and Duck.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
I'm pretty sure Mikey's Auckland. I can't remember. He's North Island anyway. Or is he South Island? He's New Zealand. I'm confident in that.
Trissart asks what happened with the dog name. So Grond won the dog naming.
Grond won the moral victory, but the real victory was actually Zorpe.
Well, I mean, as Stuart Lee would say, it's a everyone hated Grond. Everyone hated Grond, the name Grond. It's a miracle that it won at all. It must be purely down to the superior number of votes it kept achieving. Jam pots with groves in magical. Sorry, I'm not sure I quite understand that sentence.
Jam pots with I'm guessing that is magical.
It's magical.
Darren's obviously talking about alternate. Oh, can you get in focus, please, camera? Darren's talking about other options for water pots. So he's saying jam pots.
Jam pots, yeah. Thank you for interpreting. I much really appreciate it.
I'm well versed in interpreting the vagaries of my stream.
Your chat. Oh my god, I got 28 subscribers out of this. So
there you go. It was worthwhile.
100%. And obviously, chatting to you is close to being worth it in and of itself. But
close to worth 28 subscribers.
That's a nice cherry on the cake.
There we go. Found a huge little error there. A huge little error. Classic English language. Classic Australian vernacular. But I fixed my part of the throwing spear wasn't metal. It was brown. The bladed tip was just brown. Just fixing up the metalwork here on this guy because it's a little crushed by the varnish. So just putting in a few little spot highlights with a little bit of texture just on the very curved surfaces, the accents of the scale mail, just to give it a little bit more life.
It's incredible the things you miss, though, isn't it? When you think a model's done, and you can look at it, a day or even a week later, and it's a model you've obviously been staring at for hours and hours and hours
so
on end.
Long.
Yeah. And then it's just like, hang on, that whole bit isn't done. I just missed this model.
Okay.
I'm about to do some eyes, and I watched. I can't remember whose video it was. I should say. I'm sorry to whoever's video this is, but I can't remember. Maybe it's just me who never did it like this before, but it's changed the way that I do eyes. It actually enabled me to do pupils for the first time, which I've never previously been able to do. I think
you're going to talk about the thing that I think you're going to talk about.
Okay, well, let me know whether, obviously you will. So I always painted the face and then did the eyes last. And this video was saying, undercoat the face and then paint the eyes. Kind of, you don't need to be too accurate. You don't need to bother correcting them, because if you overcorrect, you're then going to have to try and do the eye again. So just paint the eyes and then use a wash. So, on kind of, on a lot of faces, I use a red wash rather than a kind of burgundy or
like Reichland or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or well, actually, even redder, so like Caribou Crimson for the first wash.
Oh, okay.
Because like on Space Marines, if their faces are meant to be like really weathered and beaten, and they're meant to be like exerting themselves, having like red lines, particularly in like any scars and stuff, I think that works really nicely. But anyway, the point is, because of the capillary action on the wash, coming up to into like the folds around the eyes, it tends to be that any small imperfections around the eyes are corrected simply by the fact that there's wash on there, and you then can just crack on with the face and get the rest of the face done. And I've been doing that. It's so much easier than trying to do the eyes last. So much easier.
Yeah, I sort of do the same thing where I do the eyes last, but then if I mess them up, I just use Rykon Flesh Shade, and it usually fixes them.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Same,
Yeah, but it's the same. Yeah,
principle.
you would the wash is a handy little tool for correctimondos.
If anyone saw my video on Scotland video when I was painting Durnhelm, well, the dismounted Eowyn, and I painted her face, and this is always the case with faces for me. I was like, this is looking great, this is looking great, this is looking great, and then I did one highlight too many. I kind of changed the shape of the face in a really ugly and unhelpful way, and it was like that.
And you're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. This looks like this is terrible now.
Yep. I literally had to I just put it aside. I was like, I can't even look at this anymore. It's done. It's gone beyond.
So, oh man, I love this. Love the pants off this super glue. So strong.
What super glue is it?
It's the super glue that Magnet Baron sells. That's why I have it, and it is just the strongest super glue I have ever seen. And I re-glued all these pieces, and I just like had to bend Eowyn's arm back in shape, and I just rolled the dice, and I was like, this is totally gonna snap the glue joint again if I try and bend this back in. And it held beautifully.
And of course, you need that, don't you, Lackey, for the Royal Guard, the Royal Knights, because they're so awful because of the way they're designed, with the hands and the weapons, the fact they keep snapping.
The way that you delivered that, it sounded like the bit that Stuart Lee does about what is it? I can hear I can feel the rhythm of the delivery of the line. It's where he's like imitating modern comics. Oh man, damn it!
It's not like
This is the worst reference ever because I can't even remember any of the details.
This is bad enough when you're just talking to your friends, let alone 67 people on chat, and you're like, "Do you know that bit? Remember that bit? You know
that Stuart Lee bit where he like says that joke that's like sardonically sending up the rest of comedy."
That's 90% of his material, to be fair.
Yes, yeah, that's my point. I can't remember it.
The whole last 20 seconds.
Oh no, it's the Jungle Canyon rope bridges bit about Thatcherism. Yeah. You know, when you're in the east side and you're going over your Jungle Canyon rope bridges. You know, in the 70s under Thatcher with your Jungle Canyon rope bridges. It's that bit. That's the way you deliver that reminded me of that.
Yeah, I mean, I take that as a compliment.
That is a highly obscure reference. I'm sorry, chat.
You have a question from Vandus.
Oh, what's Vandus got to say?
It says, probably was answered earlier on, but I wasn't here. What made you choose to go into the thematic? Choose to go into that thematic old Rohan models? Sorry, I'm not reading that properly. Let me start again. Question for Lackett. God damn it.
Do you need my help?
Question. I probably do. Probably was answered earlier on, but I wasn't here. What made you choose to go into that thematic in Rohan? Old models that did reuse or something else?
All right, so he's talking about why I did the host of Thengel.
I'm so sorry, Vandus, for utterly butchering your question.
I will come up and answer with my face, Vandus. So the host of Thengel was born initially out of a desire to recreate the ability to increase my might generation, to replicate the ability I could get on the table with my original Riders of Theoden list. So Riders of Theoden got a Gambling Banner nerf. I used to be generating at least 3 points of might per turn with the Gambling Banner nerf, and of course it has the Death special rule where you get heaps of free might in one turn. And then Gambling's Banner got nerfed, so it was only 1 point of might per turn that it would regenerate, which is this model here. Beautiful Gambling Banner. Any hero, it used to be any, now it's 1, within 3 inches at the start of a turn on 0 goes back up to 1 might points. So then I decided that I wanted to bring in an additional might engine. So I built this whole new list idea from a competitive point of view that was Gambling generating his 1 might point per turn, and then Aragorn generating his 1 free might point per turn. So that would give me 2 per turn, and also Aragorn, who has Fight 6, Elven Blade, sort of help fix some of the other problems. And so then I was like, okay, if I want to ally Aragorn in with Rohan, the only way I can do it is using King Elisar, and the only real reason for King Elisar and Theoden to exist at the same time, there isn't one. So then if King Elisar can represent Aragorn when he's younger, and then Theoden can represent his father Thengel, it can represent when Aragorn as in disguise as a person called Thorongul went and fought with Thengel, his father. And so then I built this whole list idea around that. I added extra characters to represent different characters. So Gamling represents Gamling's father. Gamfast, I can't remember. Grimbold's father. Forbold uses the Forlong profile, has a big spear and a horse and a bow and a horn, sorry. And Fastred is the Lord of Harrowdale, who is the father of a character we meet in Return of the King, not in the movies, in the book, and he is like a knight of Dol Amroth, which is in Forbold or Grimbold's warband, Grimbold's father's warband, which is Forlong. So that's kind of, originally it came from that rebuilding the Might Generation engine from a competitive idea, and then the theme, I always have to have intense theme as well as competitive lists. I like doing that hand in hand for big tournaments, and then it just flowed on from there. That's the short answer. Yeah, I don't have the legit Thorongul miniature. Obviously, there are very few in the world. You can get the Thorongul miniature on foot. That's not that hard because a recaster got hold of it and recast the crap out of it. And so there are a few recasted ones floating around Australia and New Zealand. I think it was someone here who recast them because I remember actually I was at the Wellington League final. Yeah, Wellington League final, and there was a Thorongul in there. In the prize pack, and it was recast. The guy who was running the event just like found it in his old stash from like years ago, so that was the Thorongul on foot, which was an unreleased miniature. There were only like 4 of them given out or something as like event promos, and somehow one of them went to a recaster at some point. All right, 12:30. Ladies and gents, I think I will have to call it there. Oh, what is the time? It's 12:30. I just said that. I just think I have to go to bed because we have to get up at like 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow, and we're going to SeaWorld with 2 kids.
Oh, to be fair, that sounds epic. So
it's going to be epic, but it's going to be exhausting, which means I don't think I can go and stream on Ollie and Kira's channel. I'll have to go and owe them a stream next week because I'm absolutely trashed. I was barely awake enough to do this stream. But here I am, fighting through.
I think you aced it, mate. It's good.
I did.
Sleep
is
underrated.
underrated.
Thank you very, very much indeed for having me on the stream. I had an absolute blast.
Yeah, you should come on more, man.
I would love to.
Whenever we're streaming, I'll just rope you on. It's so lonely.
That's not a very nice thing to say to your chat.
Chat. No, I need help talking to them all. Like, they're too many. Like, they come fast and quick, and I never get any painting done. I got so much painting done because you were here to help me look after the chat. It's good. Did you guys like having Alex here on the chat?
Why would you ask that?
Let's see what they say.
Oh my god, this is like an annual work review.
No, please don't come back.
Yeah.
Stop diluting the quality of the channel. This was terrible. Fair. God, man, they've been really harsh, dude.
They're really brutal.
Nah, they're keen. Look at that. What has Alex been painting? Says Vandus. Yeah, show us your work. Let's have a close up on your models. What have you achieved?
What have I achieved? So, I've done the black parts on all my clones. I can't show you all of them because I don't have enough hands. But they're like a little custom Red Legion of clones.
Nice.
So that's a couple of them. I don't know if you can show them on my sort of potato webcam.
I can sort of see them.
So
Sorry, you go. I'll shut up.
No. So the point in these guys is it's just all the patterns are slightly different, as you'll probably tell. So some of them have got kind of full triangular leg patterns. Some of them have got sort of half patterns, one arm, one shoulder pad. Some of them have got double stripes, etc. And of course, it's the only reason I did that is because phase ones don't typically have any patterns at all. But I thought that was a bit dull, so I wanted to give them some color. And I didn't want them all to look the same. So these guys, they basically accrue battlefield honors. So
Nice.
their patterns, they don't denote rank, they don't denote squad, they don't denote their unit or leader, anything like that. So you could have a commander who's got barely any patterns because he's kind of raised the rank of commander without actually getting these weird battlefield honors. And they're not formal things. They're meant to be things that the Legion has just decided between themselves. So like, I don't know, to make a film reference, someone diving through the air while firing 2 pistols and going, that might be a kind of a thing that gets them a pattern on their armor. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I also, Yoda was completely unstarted at the beginning of the stream, so I've kind of got all the base colors and washes on him. And Padme, I've done a tiny bit of non-metallic metal on the pistol, although it looks a bit rushed at the moment. But that's when we were just deciding what the dog was going to be called, so my hand was all over the place.
Fair. You were nervous.
Yeah.
You were quivering.
I was very nervous.
So what's your camera setup at the moment? You're still shooting. Did you end up buying did you buy anything yet? I can't remember. We were talking about your camera.
Yeah, so I've got for filming, I've got Sony ZV-1.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, so that's not been on any of my videos yet, but the video in Wales will be on that. This tournament I'm doing next week will be on the ZV-1. So hopefully my channel's about to get a bit better quality wise.
Yeah, nice.
But this I joined. I was honored to join your stream and decided not to bother getting the camera out and instead to commit to this webcam that I got as a Christmas present. So
yeah, nice. How do you stream with the? I don't know if can you stream with the camera?
Yeah, I think it's everyone you can. Yeah, you can.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't entirely know how yet, but you can do because it's one of the ththings I checked before I bought it. So I will figure out how.
Natively, or do you have to use a cam link thing?
See, I think it links into. I think you because it signs into your Wi-Fi network.
Wow.
And there's like a file transfer software, so I think you do it through the Wi-Fi network.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, whether or not that would affect its frame rate and latency, I don't know.
Otherwise, the cam link works. Only worthwhile if you're streaming heaps. Oh my god, there's like so many notifications on this YouTube channel because I barely look at it. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. That was good fun. Before you guys go, who likes this format where we're literally just like hanging out and painting armies? Because this is so much more accessible for me to do regularly. The battle games and Middle Earth stuff, obviously but like the battle reports are kind of really difficult at the moment with the way the studio is, but everything that is sort of more painting is easier. But this format lets Lachlan paint more often. I like that. Need to get this army painted. So we could do more, obviously with the battle games and Middle Earth format, we could also do stuff, painting following the magazines like we always do. So that will come back with the next normal time stream, and there won't be one tomorrow morning, obviously. Maybe next week, we'll see how we go. But did you guys enjoy just hanging out with us while we painted our armies and Rohan? Let me know. This format is pretty cool and chillaxed. It's been wicked. Oh, so Alex from Battle Camp is in the chat. Hey, Alex, how you going, dude?
Just reckon
that's
reckon
crazy.
you should come back more on Alex, kid. He's good. He's a good lad.
Alex from Battle Camper says we should invite Alex Temple more often. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, Alex Temple, you can come back more often. You've been approved by Alex from Battle Camper.
And he's got high standards, that guy.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he shits in buckets. More cattle and more bump needed. Excellent. That sounds good. Having guests is also fantastic. Yeah, cool. Well, I might do guests more often as well. Helps me stay on task. Yes, when you're grown, you have to come back. All right, maybe
please. I would love to do a live reveal on your channel, Zorp, if that's okay. I'll have a little red throw over him. Tear the throwaway.
More whiskey.
Ron in all his glory.
I promised Johnny before I logged off I'd try it without rocks. Here we go. Just a little bit, because I don't want to get ridiculously smashed. Here we go. Just a little nosh. This is my problem. I have no concept of alcohol, right? Because I didn't drink. I've barely ever drunk. I had a phase of binge drinking while I was a teenager, like an idiot, like every Australian idiot teenager, and then I got very over it. And so I have no idea how much alcohol this is. This is maybe a large amount for like 40% whiskey, but I'm going to drink it anyway. Oh, it does taste different without ice. I think better. It's interesting. Like, you would think that it would, if you put the ice in and drunk it straight away, there's no melted ice to dilute the flavor. But it's like the surface area of the whiskey gets like broken up by the ice cubes or something, which changed. I don't know. It actually does change the flavor. Maybe it's the temperature. I don't know.
So will you next time? Will you be native, going back to rocks, or sticking neat? Do you reckon?
Oh, that's pretty good, neat. Strong. Whew. I think I'll mix up both. I think both are really nice. I think on the rocks is smoother. That's sharper. It's definitely sharper. But yeah, that's oh. Frederick says, "Oh, it does taste different without ice." Dies in Australia. Oh, I think I prefer the flavor. It's sharper, but I think the flavor is nicer. But it's easier to drink. It's smoother with the ice, but the flavor isn't quite. Yeah, that is. Oh, that's really good. Okay, I'm gonna sleep well tonight. I haven't had whiskey in like so long, because I haven't had any. Ice numbs the flavor. That's what Vanda says. Linku says, "Hi, you've joined just as we're going. We will make it. We'll make an adult out of you yet," says El Cid. Go with cola next time and get crucified. Yeah, I'm not gonna ruin the beautiful whiskey with Coke. Okay, whew. Well, I'm nice and buzzed. I think there's a good way to sign off. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time. We'll see Alex real soon, and we'll do some more Rohan painting, and we'll do a normal Battle Games in Middle Earth stream. Maybe next Monday, maybe the Monday after. I'll see how mental the week gets. We shall see how you go. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for the whiskey, J-Mac. That was a nice buzz. You don't actually have to leave, Alex. I'll quit the stream, and then it will end. So don't hang up on the phone call, because I'll talk to you afterwards.
All right, great. Okay, cool.
I've got to give you like your scores,
notes, of course.
and some notes on how to play Riders of Theoden better. And
I saw you switched out to your red pen halfway through. So
yeah, I did make a few corrections to the script. I think we did pretty well. What's the next bit of the script here? Says it says, "Oh, yep, talk about the script." Yep, and then say 6 out of 10 don't shoot at gobos. Yeah. What was he doing? All right, I'm leaving now. Good night, all.
Bye, everyone.